What's the word? It's your boy Rashad back, back at it again with another episode of Things of That Nature, episode 131. Gots to get to it. Hey man, fits in there for y'all. Hulan, Rail, Rasheen. Another day on the right side of the dirt. A lot of bullshit on the timeline as usual. Gots to get to it, man. Repost the space. Repost the space. Repost the space. Let's get some folks in here to have some good conversation like we usually do. 6 folks in the A9s already. Y'all starting early in the A9s. Listen, come up and holler at your boy. It's all good. It is all good. I mean, that's early for 6 in the A9s. I ain't gonna hold you. Listen, the Patreon is in the jumbo. Just put out a recap of yesterday's space, episode 130, Generational Yappers. Crazy space yesterday. Gotta corral the yappers. I'm not gonna lie. Gots to corral the yappers. I'm gonna start putting the timer up. Ain't gonna hold you. There's some folks on here know they can talk. I thought I could talk. There's some folks on here know they can goddamn talk. So we gonna have to corral the yappers in, but I appreciate y'all in here. 10, Kyra, I need money, Hitachi, fist in the air for y'all. Fist in the air for y'all. El Guapo, what's the word? Guys, to get to it. Yesterday, we started off with a topic about chasing, man, and then it really went to a lot of different places. So we couldn't get to the cheat herd round the world, but we got to get to the cheat herd round the world today because this nigga done put out a statement yesterday. Professional gaslighter. Professional gaslighter. What's his name? Andy something. Let me go into my handy dandy bookmarks. Y'all know I got the bookmarks on deck. Andy Byron. Andy Byron, listen. Professional gaslighter. Supreme. Teach me your ways, Andy. Ain't gonna lie, 10, you might need to have a gaslighting course in your misogyny curriculum. I'm not gonna lie. You might want to hire Andy, cause he up there. DB, what's the word? How you feeling?
What's up? What's up? Happy Friday. What it do? Things of that nature. Episode, what we on? Damn.
131.
131, nigga. We moving and grooving. No, happy Friday, everybody. Let's get it.
Let's get to it. Appreciate you. We got to get to the cheat herd around the world. Let me put it in jumbo. I know by now y'all have
Who?
seen it.
Who cheated? Tyra?
No,
Oh,
the white
oh, oh,
boy
oh.
at the concert with his side
Oh,
bitch.
yeah.
Yeah, we gotta unpack this one over here. Things of that nature, man.
Yeah, Kyra ain't that sloppy. Yeah.
So, buddy, y'all seen it. First of all, rule number 1, fellas. You treating your side bitch like the man. It's a lot of rules. Hold on, man. 1, let me go all the way back. 1, stop fucking with people that you work with. That's just number 1. Stop
Why?
it. I never seen it turn out good.
Why?
Never.
It's benefits to it, though.
I never seen it turn out good on my life. Big V, what's the word? How you feeling? I never seen it turn out good on my life. Stop fucking with folks you work with. It's a
Man,
lot of
I say
pussy out
successful
here.
relationships in the workspace.
Nah, it's a lot of pussy out here. It's a lot of niggas out here, ladies. Just go find them. Stop fucking on the job.
Rashad, let me get my 1-on-one with DB real quick. DB, don't ever play with me like that, okay? Is you cool?
Party body. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you too. Thank you. Okay, sorry, Rashad. You go on about your rant. Sorry.
Yeah. Listen, today is a good Friday. Today is a good Friday, and we gonna get to it. Kyron came with the good energy. I hope a lot more niggas want to argue, because listen, things of that nature is Friday. We up. Put your 40s in the air if you got one.
I'm
Put a
smoking
shot in
right
the air if
now.
you got
I'm
one.
smoking one right now. So the
We got
smoking.
to
Shout
get
out to
to it. But
y'all.
listen, back to the topic at hand. Stop fucking people at work. That's just it. Go find somebody else. It don't work.
You
Y'all
never saw one successful relationship pop up at the office, man. Come
never,
on, man.
never. I've seen people that were already involved come to the job, and that worked out. They didn't have that. It was only one. They didn't have a breakup or nothing like that. But if you meet somebody at the job and you start fucking them, I never seen it. I never seen it.
You was at a
Somebody
city
gonna get
call center,
mad.
man.
Somebody gonna get mad. When y'all break up, you still gotta see they bum ass on the assembly line. It just don't work, man. It don't work. I'm telling you. So that's number one. Stop fucking people at the job. Two, if you are cheating, why are you out in public acting like this is your main squeeze? I don't get that. I don't get that. I would think that if both of y'all married and y'all cheating, y'all meet up at the park or something. Know what I mean? Have a little car sex when the sun go down
What's
in
wrong
a
with a
hotel
concert?
room. I'm not taking a bitch to the goddamn Coldplay.
What's wrong with a concert?
No, you don't take hoes to concerts when you cheating on your wife. And
It's
ladies,
dark.
when you cheating on your nigga, please don't take that side nigga somewhere and get that man killed. Don't do it. Don't you ever do it. This how people end up in the grave. But they white, so it's a little different rules. But why y'all doing this? I don't understand. They was happy as hell too. And you seen the accomplice. They said the lady that was next to them on the right, she worked at the company too. She knew what the fuck was going on. Her face was more red than the both of them. Rope all they ass in there. Crazy. Unreal. Unbelievable. That nigga was caught red-handed. He started ducking like somebody was shooting in that motherfucker.
They was.
Unbelievable.
You ain't see them BBs?
Man, listen. If he would have played it smooth, I think it would have went over well. If he would have played it smooth, it would have went over well. But after that, later on in the day, masterclass in gaslighting. Masterclass. Let me see the statement. Some people saying it's real, some people saying it's fake. Who knows? I don't give a damn. I want to read it anyway.
Cause that's crazy. I ain't never seen like the Jumbotron just take a big ass bright light spotlight to the booths at a concert. Where they do
Listen,
that at?
listen. Why
Somebody
you
tell
take
me what concert they see. They just took it off the stage and just shoved it around to the booths.
That's what they do. When you go to the basketball game, they put you on the kiss cam.
Basketball different. I get
Nah,
basketball, but a
nah,
concert, I
we
ain't
we
never seen that one.
we showing the crowd. We showing crowd engagement. They probably was playing a love song, so they wanted to show the people that was in the crowd that was in love. And so let me go ahead and spotlight some people that are embodying the song that we performing. Come on, man, regular concert stuff. If y'all niggas let Drake get away with UK is the best lyricist in the world at a concert, you can let Coldplay get away with showing the crowd. Come on, man. Even Swap ain't no swindle. Wake it up. Wake it up. Y'all niggas want to pick and choose on the concert protocol. Stop it.
Somebody told on that nigga, man. That single that nigga out in the booth is nuts.
Somebody told on him? Nasty.
Somebody had to, man. Ain't no way you just drop a dime. This nigga, ah, oh, that's unfortunate. That's some bad luck. That's what that is.
That's not. See, listen, I think that you create your
What are
own
the
luck.
odds? What are the odds of that happening? You in the booth?
You create your own luck, DB. And
I could say that.
you out there with a woman that is not your woman at the concert. Come on, man. It's not what are the odds. I think it was destined to happen. It don't make sense. It don't make, now
It
that
make
woman
plenty
about
of
to
sense.
take
I do it all the
everything.
time. It make plenty of
Nah.
sense.
Hey man, listen, you only need one time to get caught. That's why criminals be going to jail. Now I mean, criminals gotta be right every single time. The police only gotta be right once. Wake it up. Wake it up. The odds is not in your favor. The odds is not in your favor, fam. Nasty. This nigga was in there hugged up. He loved her too. I know he loved her. The ride home had to be crazy. I'm not gonna lie. He probably had a hotel room set up and all that shit. That nigga dropped that bitch off and went home. I would be sick. Jode, what's the word? How you feeling? Another
I could not
day.
come off mute for nothing. Hello, Rashad. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Fist in the air.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
For
oh
me, but I'm
man.
feeling good today. You know, things are looking up and up with my health. Let me say something real quick. Big up to Chris Martin. That's my wigger right there. I fucks with him. What he did was he get his get back because he used to be married to Gwyneth Paltrow, and I think he on some. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to make sure that these little whites get exposed. He in his messy bag. I'm here for it.
Who is Chris Martin?
The nigga from Coldplay.
Oh
Oh,
shit!
brother.
So he
I to
was
say, who is
singled
that young
out.
man?
He was singled out by the band.
So Chris Martin is I like Coldplay, so I just know his name. So Chris Martin is he's the lead singer. And he used to be married to Gwyneth Paltrow. I don't know. I feel like she cheated or he cheated or something like that. So maybe he in his exposed bagger. But let me be very clear. As a woman that observes corporate whites for a living, they be doing this all the time. One thing you gonna learn about is a white is gonna have a workplace romance. You hear me? They is going to workplace romance over in the white side. This ain't new. This ain't new. This is good. I'm glad they got caught in 4K. That bum ass
Nasty.
LinkedIn
You praying
statement.
on marriage downfalls?
Nah, I don't care
Nasty.
about no white marriages. What I'm saying is the whites be doing this, okay? And that bum ass LinkedIn statement, and gonna quote the song at the end. Boy, please.
Yeah, we got to get to the statement. Listen,
Nah, we gonna get to
masterclass.
it. I don't care if it's fake or not. It look good.
Masterclass in gaslighting.
But
I
I
would
will
pay for this
say,
class.
I'm gonna tell you exactly what happened over Rashad, right? As somebody that's worked corporate America at least 15 years, I'm gonna tell you what happened. They got caught up on a Sunday, Monday morning, 9 a.m. to 9:15. They had an HR call. You hear me? And when you work in corporate, a 15-minute call means somebody getting fired or you gotta go.
You out of here.
You got to get to it. So I don't know if they ain't gonna get fired, but they do have an interim HR director ready and waiting. Then
It's probably that hoe that they skipped over to give her the
listen,
job. Wake it up.
then exactly. Then by 11 a.m. they're gonna have a meeting with the directors. Then by 2, they're gonna have a call with the entire staff, let them know the change. Then what they're gonna do is they're gonna make sure that, just want to make sure we reinforce our fraternization policy. They're gonna do all that shit, right? And then in 2 months, everybody gonna forget about it, and then they gonna try and have a motherfucking cookout so we can forget that them two niggas was at that concert.
I don't want no goddamn hot dogs.
They gonna give you the cookout to make you forget, okay? Because they ain't firing them white folks. They
I
gonna
don't
say,
want
listen,
no
just go,
motherfucking
just
hot
don't.
dogs, man.
Yeah, that's what they do. This is what they
Hell
do in corporate
no.
America.
Rasheem,
They
what's
gonna
the
put some
word?
levels in between them. Yeah. Period.
Yo,
What's the word,
yo,
Rasheem?
chilling, yo. Hope y'all having a good day.
Hi,
Now, I just had a
Rasheem.
question. What's up, what's up? I just had a question for you, Jonah, because what I feel like what's crazy, right, is that this guy's a CEO, right? So how does it work? Does the same rules apply for the CEO? Like, is he under risk of getting fired? Like, is there like some board of directors meeting? Like, how does that go for this guy, you know?
Yeah, that shit public. I think his company is public, which
Yeah.
means that he probably has a board of
So there
directors that he has
definitely,
to.
if it's a public company, there's board of directors for sure.
Yeah, so he got to answer to them
Yeah.
folks. If he kicking ass, they gon'
And if she's the head of HR, then that is his direct report. So
yeah, I think
yeah.
if he's doing good, they gonna sweep it under the rug. If they didn't like him and he wasn't performing
They're
like
gonna
they
put
want him
him
to
on
perform,
leave, and while they investigate, how did they find out? When did they start dating? What's the real scenario? They're gonna put him. They'll probably put him on a leave, and she's a woman, so they may just let her take PTO while this dies down, and then the rest of the people gonna have meetings and figure out who knows what. They're gonna do an investigation for sure.
yeah, that hoe that was standing next to him, yeah, she know all about it. She was embarrassed as hell, like she was
She was
fucked up with
laughing
him.
like shit. She
We need
clearly
to
was.
get her up out of
She
there.
drove him there. They all rode together.
Nasty, she's setting up the
Yeah.
rendezvous.
Listen.
Wow. Oh,
Listen.
listen, I ain't gonna lie. If she is setting up the rendezvous, that's a down ass friend. That's a magnificent friend. She putting the hotels in her name?
Listen. It's
Wow.
all on the company card, so
Gots to get to it.
yeah.
Let me read this statement. Let me read my boy Andy Byron.
Andy Byron.
My nigga said,
Ah.
I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it's caused. What was supposed to be a night of music and joy turned into a deeply personal mistake playing out on a very public stage. I want to sincerely apologize to my wife, my family, and the team at Astronomer. You deserve better from a partner, as a father, and as a leader. This is not who I want to be or how I want to represent the company I helped build. I'm taking time to reflect, to take accountability, and to figure out the next steps, personally and professionally. I ask for privacy as I navigate that process. I also want to express how troubling it is. Hold on, wait, this is the masterclass right here. Masterclass. I want to express how troubling it is that what should have been a private moment became public without my consent. I respect artists and entertainers, but I hope we can all think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. As a friend once sang, lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. Andy, nasty
Now you
individual.
know the friend that he talking about is a Coldplay lyric. He look,
Yeah.
Andy ate that.
Nah, Andy's nasty. Let me tell you something, Andy. Superior. How he blamed Coldplay for being at the concert with his side joint?
Yeah, if that's real, that's nasty work right there.
Come
Nah,
on, Andy.
so Rashad, I saw somebody do a caption that said, "So you can't give your coworker the Heimlich maneuver no more." Like, damn. I said,
For
not the
real.
Heimlich.
All in the nigga business. She might have been choking on a peanut or something.
Why he ducked then? Why he fall to the ground?
Oh,
That
hey
nigga
man,
and he
listen.
did not get up. I said, oh no, he caught. He like it ain't even like he was caught a little bit. He caught like, did he tell his wife he was in like Guatemala or something? Because why he do all that? That man ducked
How
like he wasn't even supposed to be in the country.
how folks found them so fast?
He at the concert, and that clearly is something they do at the concert where they show the people in the audience, and that nigga standing tall on the glass and they sway into the music. Man,
Yeah, he love
listen.
his side bitch. I ain't gonna
Well, why?
lie. He
Listen,
love
he
that
got caught
woman.
up though. See, listen, y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop cheating. Don't
You
be
know what's
mad
funny
at
too? Now
Coldplay.
that I think
Stop
about it,
cheating.
you know what's funny too? Now that I think about it, that camera stayed in that section for a very long time. Like it did
It
not
sure
move.
did, and they zoomed in on them too. And then he ducked,
Yeah,
and then it stayed there. I said, "Ooh, oh well."
They was trying to figure out what the
They're
hell
like,
was
"What
going
happened? Why
on.
did they just dip off?"
Everybody confused. They said his wife took his last name off her Facebook.
His wife black. You
Yes,
know that's what the
sir.
black girls do. This listen, when they get divorced, they turn into first name, middle name.
Is there is there ever like a possibility of reconciliation after that
Public
has
and
happened?
okay. See here is the key to the cheating thing, right? Most women say no to cheating, right? But the thing that takes the cheating over the top is the public embarrassment. Most cannot bounce back from public embarrassment outside of Rashida, you know. Rashida
Hey
don't give a
man,
damn.
Kirk innocent. He innocent.
Listen, I ain't leaving Kirk. That's what she told us the other day.
I seen them in the mall. I seen Kurt and his baby mama in the mall
So,
when the baby was first born. Wake it
mm,
up.
he
Look
he
like
look
a
he looked
happy
real
family.
cozy, didn't he?
He's real
Uh-huh.
cozy.
But
He was in Urban
it really
Outfitters or
do
some
it
shit.
really do it be the public embarrassment part. So I don't know. And but you know what? One thing them white women gonna do is they are going to get that alimony. They are going to listen. They're gonna get that divorce attorney. They gonna listen. That woman is going to become the CEO. That's gonna be her company. They love to get everything in a divorce. Love it.
Big, Big V, what's the
Yo,
word?
Jonah, you say, yeah, what's going on? Y'all making some valid points, but there's a couple of things I wanted to say. Jonah, you absolutely correct because just think about, that bread that, with Jeff
Mm-hmm.
Bezos' wife got. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? She got
She got
paid.
to it.
And not only that, she got got by a young
Mm-hmm.
dude. So ain't no telling what he doing to that. You know what I'm saying? But another thing is too, that hey, listen, man, they should have been communicating more. And word on the street is, and let me say this because I don't know if it was 10 or DB that was saying something that I always hear this, and I don't know how true this is. I heard when you have the cat at home, it's harder to get than it is on the outside. I don't know how true
Mm-hmm.
that is, but I'm
Nah,
just
you
saying.
just gotta
I don't
date a
condone
freakazoid.
that. I don't condone that behavior. Listen. If you gonna do something, you gonna do it. That ain't my business. You know what I'm saying? People gonna do what they
Mm-hmm.
do anyway. You know what I'm saying? Word on the street is it's harder to get it when you have it at home than it is outside. But that ain't, you
Hold
hear
on,
that
wait.
from
You
me.
saying so
That,
the in house, the girlfriend and the wife, they ain't giving up no cheat, so that's why the niggas cheating. I knew it wasn't the niggas' fault.
Oh my
I
God.
knew it. Shit.
Oh
Hey
my
man, Big
that's
God.
V,
the
listen
word.
there for Big V. Add some clarity to the situation. I knew it.
No, and crazy. Another thing is too. Now that this got out, right? I think now this was the moment. Now you think the wife ain't gonna get her lick back, boy? You just wait.
Nah,
You
she now
think them Desperate
she ain't gonna get
Housewives
no
are
lick
too
back,
greedy?
Big V. You know what she gonna do? She gonna get interviewed by
What's
today.
going to
The
She
wife
gonna
do?
do what?
today. You know what I'm saying? Like she gonna get an exclusive interview by one of them news sources because
Oh,
yeah,
Diane
one of
Sawyer.
them
She gonna go Diane
wife
She
of
gonna
Sawyer.
break out the white
astronomers.
tears?
Yeah.
She
Mhm.
gonna break out white
You already
tears?
know it.
Oh,
Yep,
You
yep.
already know it.
I don't know, man, but it's crazy. But if you think now she really, if she got her eye on the little stud muffin she was eyeing on, now she definitely gonna
Mhm.
take advantage of that
early
opportunity.
winner for the
She
name of the
gonna
space,
give them
Stud
the
Muffin.
Stud muffin.
best piece there is, man.
Yo, that's
Yeah,
sick. I ain't gonna.
she getting to it.
Mike, what's the word?
What's up, Rashad? Yeah, my man's a victim. I ain't gonna lie.
A
I think he should file
victim.
a lawsuit. You should be able to cheat in peace. I've never heard of you go to a concert and they put you on a jumbotron. He was a victim. He should file for a lawsuit. Also clearly his wife ain't making him happy at home, so he should be able to find that happiness with another young lady. And we gotta protect men. I know he ain't black, but a nigga should be able to cheat in peace, and Coldplay, they some despicable human beings if they let that happen in a concert. That's nasty.
Cheat in peace. Listen, I ain't gonna lie, man. I would definitely feel a way. Knowing me, I would definitely feel a way towards Coldplay. I can't lie
Why?
because what you doing?
But it's not like they were just singling them out. They went to different like
They
people
was
in the
on
crowd.
different people in the
So
crowd. And if
Yeah,
you
that
want to
they
be
shouldn't do
ducked
that
off,
at
but if you
concerts.
want to be ducked off with your side, why is you standing on the glass for everybody to see you
They couldn't see.
That was a press
in
box.
that area? You supposed listen.
Nah, that
You
wasn't
so
no press
if
box.
you
That
was
was
the
front center. That
CEO,
wasn't no press
if
box.
you the CEO and she the director of HR, y'all need to have glasses on and masks. Like what y'all
Think
need to
it's
be a
COVID?
little bit more low. Yeah, it need to be COVID in that bitch. Y'all need to hide your identity. This man, you see them? They was swaying like what? Did y'all see
They
Looked
were.
like
that?
he was
Listen,
Listen,
happy.
listen. Their
I ain't gonna
fingers
lie.
were their fingers were interlocked. The man was holding her from behind. They were swaying and smiling, singing the song. You
definitely having a moment.
way too comfortable in public if that's your side. That don't make no sense.
I ain't gonna lie. That looked like true love.
It looked tough.
That
Man, they
looked
was
like true
enjoying
love.
a moment. That's what I saw.
As a
Hey, you heard
cheater.
what Buddy said? What Ghost said in Power? When he told Tasha the love of his life just
Yeah, he
died.
lost the
He
love of
said,
his.
I
That's
just
Tasha,
true.
lost
He
the
lost the
life.
love
have
I
of
some
his
just
dignity.
lost
life.
the
He
love of
said,
my
have
life.
some dignity.
Please
I just lost the love
agreement.
of my life. Yo, he said some
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Hey
Shout
man.
out to Ghost for getting that off. Like, there ain't no way this man
Diabolical.
got that off. Have some
Hey,
respect,
listen.
Tasha. I just lost the love of my life.
I think the lesson that we can learn from this is
Mm-hmm.
don't let your wife stop you from finding your soulmate. Wake it up. Wake it up.
And don't
Hey,
go to
yo,
public
nah,
concerts.
fam. You about to start an
Hey,
uproar on
that's the
Sean.
lesson we
Come on,
learned.
man.
That's
Come
crazy.
on, man. Come on, man.
She holding him back.
Mm-mm-mm-mm. She is? Oh, okay.
She at home probably ain't doing nothing. Got the same clothes on that she had on when he left. Come on, man. You
Probably
want
ain't even trying to fuck him no more. We can't blame that man for trying to seek love and happiness. Like, yeah, we gotta protect men more, man. I ain't gonna lie. That was
Men
nasty.
need more protection? Oh.
Hey
Absolutely.
man, it's
Hold on.
scarce out
I
here
say
for
this.
us.
Hmm.
Listen. If things wasn't going right, all he had to do was communicate and
Ah,
listen, or try to spice things up a little bit. But like that, you just went out. Like like what can we do? Let's go away, something, bro. But I don't know, man. It's
I'm
just
about to see
crazy.
how long they've been married. Do y'all think that there is a do you think that she can come back? Jonay said public embarrassment is
Embarrassment. Yeah,
difficult to
that.
come back
Yeah.
from. Do
Hmm.
y'all think that they can
Yeah,
get
I don't
back
think
to
she gotta
a
let it
good
go. She gotta
place?
move out the country. She gotta move out the country, big dog. That's it.
Wow.
You get her bread up, get a youngin to wire her up, chill with her, whatever. Whatever
He
happens,
gotta fire her
happens.
first. That I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He got to
If he
fire
has to, if he has
her?
to come back,
Yeah.
anybody can come back.
Y'all talking about the employee or the wife?
The employee gotta no the he
I was talking about the
if
wife.
he can't
I was talking about the
no, but I'm
wife.
saying for her redemption. Like I think the wife will be on some. Oh, you think you about to go back to work for her? Oh no, because that's your company. So either you can't be either you got to step down or you got to fire her.
That his wife ain't got that much pull. She's
Oh,
probably not.
I guarantee you she do.
I
Nah.
guarantee she does
I
when the
guarantee
money
you
get
she do.
involved.
When money get involved, please.
You know how much money that she is in line for? This case is over with. It's hook, line, and sinker. The case,
Yeah,
it ain't no games,
it's
nigga.
4K.
4K. It's in
Especially if that
4K.
prenup got signed too.
Let's
We don't know.
wait.
His
Especially if
wife
that
could be
prenup
cheating
got
too.
signed.
They could be
Listen,
on some Will Smith and
don't let
Jada
this
shit.
company
Hey,
be in North
hey,
Carolina. You
no
know
comment.
she could sue the lady too.
Yep, facts,
No, she can sue the lady for
facts.
what? Breaking up our happy home?
Look at
In
Tim and
certain
Brene.
states,
That's what they going on
the
right now.
mistress could get sued.
Yep.
Wow.
I know
Look
North
at Tim and
Carolina's one. I
Brene.
remember it happened in Fantasia one time.
Fantasia was
Yep.
cheating?
Fantasia baby daddy that she had a kid by, um, was ended up being married, and the wife sued her.
Mm.
Hmm.
Fantasia, come on, Fantasia. See, I bet y'all ain't got nothing bad to say about Fantasia, but y'all all on the head of HR.
No, niggas did. Cause remember, see, I don't know if you
Listen,
knew
man.
Fantasia had a hard time.
Listen,
She tried to go to glory on him.
listen. Oh, man. I mean, Fantasia probably got that gorilla, man. She got that grip. So I mean, I'm just saying, like, no point in ten.
Who,
Just
who y'all
saying.
think helped? Who y'all think helped Fantasia with the court documents?
All right,
Wow,
You
that's
so
I'm
nasty,
not doing
Rashad.
stupid.
this.
That's
That's
nasty,
nasty,
Rashad.
Rashad.
You so
What
stupid. Just
happened?
for
That is
clarification,
nasty,
it's
Rashad.
called. Just for clarification, it's called alienation of affection. Is the actual charge you could put on someone for sleeping with your man. They do it in the Carolinas and in Virginia.
Hmm.
Alienation of
Them
affection.
the states that the bitches get cheated on the most though.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a real.
Really? Wow.
So
Yes.
give me a little bit more, Memphis. It's alienation of affection. So is it like a one time thing, or does it have to be multiple times? Like when can you, like if a nigga just had a one night stand, you can sue the one night stand woman?
Yeah.
I'm not from my understanding, yeah, I'm not, I'm pretty sure you would need to have like super substantial evidence, like, you saw them here, he's giving her money, he's staying overnight. You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. I'm pretty sure you would have to paint the picture, but the actual charge is alienation of affection.
Damn.
Hmm.
Yeah, and
Side women
it's
beware.
only in the Carolinas and Virginia, but they're Commonwealth states, so they
Yeah,
just
Virginia
have,
Commonwealth.
yeah, they have just more ancient.
North Carolina's not a Commonwealth, bro.
Oh, my bad. But they just have more kind of ancient laws.
Yeah, that's nasty. Side hoes, beware
Hmm.
in Virginia and the Carolinas. They coming for you too.
Yeah, you got to be careful now.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
So
don't be creeping with the men's.
Or y'all can just accept the fact that the nigga cheated on y'all. Like y'all can move on with y'all life. You know.
no, they need retribution.
No, they don't need shit. They need to
Listen,
figure
if
out
I
how to
get
be a better
cheated on,
girlfriend or wife.
if I get cheated on after
Damn,
I get
Mike,
off
who
the
the hell
show,
hurt you? You sound
No,
so
I'm just
innocent.
saying, like, take the L and move on.
listen,
They ain't going, brother. They gotta slow burn it. They gotta slow burn it. If you watch Waiting to Exhale, man,
no, I'm
that should
fast
tell you
burning it.
everything you
I ain't
need to
gonna
know.
lie. It's gonna be some furniture moving. After I get up off the ground from sliding down the wall, crying, once I stand up on my feet, it's over with. I need something. I need something. I need some type of retribution, some get back. You can't just be cheating on
Mm.
me.
I mean, I don't know, Mike. Is that how you feel too? You think you should just take it if your girl cheat on you?
Just
Yeah.
take it's crazy.
Take, hey, charge it to the game. Move on to the next one.
Nah.
Oh, on to the next one. Why you ain't staying with your girl?
I don't deal with
We gotta wake
cheaters.
it up. It's a lot of niggas that get
Oh,
cheated
you
on and
don't deal
stay.
with cheaters. Oh, he said he don't deal with cheaters. Got
A
it.
lot of niggas get cheated on and stay. We gotta wake that up, man.
Hold on, Mike said he
You
don't.
staying?
Mike said he don't deal with
Who's
cheaters,
staying?
but if he cheat on a girl, he expect her to take it
No,
on the
Mike told
chin.
the woman to stay. He said he ain't staying.
Yeah,
I
that's what
never
I'm
said the
saying.
woman got to stay. I like she could choose to leave, but I'm not staying if a woman cheated on me.
Are you fighting for her to
Mm.
stay if you get caught?
Yeah, it depends on how much I like her. Maybe.
Have you ever got caught?
Twice when I was younger.
Damn. How you get caught?
Hmm.
She went through your phone?
Yeah, and she was texting a girl.
No.
Mike definitely gives leave the phone unlocked while he in the bathroom.
Wow. Oh, I know your heart dropped.
Yeah, I really liked
Damn.
it. The side piece. I ain't gonna lie.
That's nasty.
So,
Hey, liking the side piece more than a man is
I like the
crazy.
side
Mike,
piece.
what you on, man?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of mad because
Yo.
the side piece. She stopped fucking
She
with me
had
after
you,
that.
huh?
So
Ah, you blew it with her?
yeah,
You ain't tell her
damn
I
about
her
went
the
0 for
even
main?
10.
worse. So you had to go
Mm.
back to the main joint, didn't you?
You ain't tell her about the main, man?
Nah, nah. I was.
Ah, you fumbled it. Alright.
Is
He
there
thought he
ru-
was gonna be he thought he was gonna be P and keep it all separate, but it blew up on his ass. Boom.
I got a
Like
question.
a M80.
Is there rules in cheating? Like a cheating etiquette, do's and don'ts? Because I think Buddy clearly broke the rules. I think being out in public,
Clearly,
uh, holding hands,
I think
babies
this is
having a child.
I think a concert though is so fucking 0.001% chance that you get blew up like that on some goofy shit with the cameras
I'm
coming
gonna
around
I'm
the
gonna say
stadium.
right now, you should
Come
not be
on,
cheating
bro.
if somebody your girlfriend. Now that's crazy. I
Huh?
mean, I'm not to make no excuse. No, what?
hold on,
I'm
wait,
saying
one
this
more
to
time?
any woman in the room.
Well,
If
I
that
hate
nigga your
like
boyfriend and he
all
cheat
right,
on you, scram. Don't
all
no. Don't
right,
you ever think
cool.
you about to sit around for no nigga that's your man, like your boyfriend and cheating on you? No.
You shouldn't cheat in the same city. That's what I would
You shouldn't
recommend.
shouldn't cheat ever, but that's for the women.
Yeah,
Do not
same
sit
city
around
for
with no nigga that's
sure.
a boyfriend that's cheating on you. That's crazy.
So,
Never.
Uh, y'all cheap ass
so
niggas.
don't go to a concert. Jonay said don't have a
I would
baby.
say a concert is cool
Yeah,
though.
no babies.
If they ask me,
No cheating, period. Let's be very clear. Like, 'cause that's not the vibe, but
Well,
it's
niggas
gonna
gonna
happen
cheat.
though,
Let's be
they
realistic.
so that's not
yeah,
like come
yeah,
on.
y'all do.
I
You
don't
It's
just
gonna
I
said you
don't
happen.
know
cheated
who y'all
twice.
is, but
Didn't you? Solo Mike, so you ain't black?
I don't cheat no more. I said I cheated in the past though.
Oh, okay, so you don't say niggas don't cheat then.
I said niggas is gonna cheat.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you said niggas
it's
don't
gonna
cheat.
happen.
Oh,
It
okay.
It
just
depends.
for
Not not everybody. Not
for those
everybody.
that do
Not
cheat.
everybody. It's not
We understand. Yeah, not everybody.
your phone breaking up, Big V.
fault.
Your phone
Sometimes
breaking
So,
up.
niggas
so,
cheat
so,
because they ain't
Solo
happy
Mike,
at
you think
home though.
Solo Mike, you think like Sexy Red that all niggas cheat? That's what you think?
I think sometimes niggas cheat when they not happy at home because sometimes women get complacent.
As a man that has never cheated, listen, this is what I'll say. You gotta have dick discipline. Keep your weenies in your pants, fellas.
Keep the weenies. There you go, Rashad. Preach
Keep
to the
the
people.
keep the weenies in the pants. Dick discipline. Listen, the
You ain't never
age,
Man,
cheated, Rashad?
huh?
don't listen to these nut ass niggas, man. Live your
Yeah,
life
no.
and be
See, look at
responsible.
that. That's some terrible shit to
You ain't
Be
say.
never cheated,
Don't
responsible.
Rashad?
don't
Not even
listen to
Be
no
once?
nigga
responsible.
ever. Listen
Be
to what Rashad just
responsible,
I
said.
never
nigga.
cheated
Because
as an
shit gonna
adult.
happen.
I cheated in high
Women
school.
and men gonna
Listen,
cheat. Just be
listen to
responsible.
listen to what Rashad just said.
What the fuck?
That is real life, real talk. Don't cheat on people. That
Be
don't even make no
responsible.
sense. I'm
If
listening
you
to
want to
this
be real,
man.
tell the truth.
That
That's
is
the
the
that's the
truth.
real.
That is
The
the
truth
truth.
That's
is,
the truth.
you should be able
That's
to
the
have some
truth.
discipline.
That is the truth. Zero, y'all don't be having
That
zero discipline. So you need to get some discipline. You wouldn't be doing all this weird shit.
no, if he disciplined, he gonna tell his bitch the
No,
truth.
if he disciplined, would need to be going through women.
Nah, you ain't listening to what I'm
No,
saying. You
I don't
just
have
listen
to.
to
No,
respond,
I'm
nigga.
not.
I'm
I
telling
don't
you,
agree.
if the nigga, you ain't a nigga, so all
I
the
know.
niggas that get it, get it. So say
Okay.
look,
Okay. Well, Rashad said
Hold on,
he's a nigga
wait,
that don't cheat.
DB,
So what are you talking about?
you're saying that
I'm
if
saying
you,
that if a nigga disciplined, he gonna tell his bitch under the parameters that she failed in the intimate department to whatever degree she failed it, because he real with himself. You're not fulfilling my needs, so look, guess what? We need to have a conversation, ho. And
I
then
think we
at
gotta,
this point,
I think we gotta
no,
stop.
nigga, listen. Why you
Go
cut
ahead,
me
go
off?
ahead.
I'm telling you, this the process. The nigga telling this woman, looking on her fucking face and telling her she failing in this department, do better. Let's figure it out. Let's do this. Let's do that. Boom, 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 boom. And then making the steps so he don't have to go fucking cheat. But if he told her up front, niggas ain't honest though. I get that. To the point where they'll look a bitch in her face and tell her, we're gonna work on this. I'll give you 6 weeks to figure this out, 8 weeks, whatever the timeline is, right? Objective. And if you don't have this shit together, I'm intimately wise, I'm going to find another bitch to satisfy my needs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
DB, this is what I'm gonna say. Niggas just be
Yeah.
cheating to cheat. And so I think
And
that
that
Thank
what you're
too.
you.
saying,
Thank you.
what
Thank
And
you're
that
you.
too.
saying is,
Everything
hold
can
on,
be
you
true.
win,
Two,
you
two things
win.
can be true. You're right.
I think that there is the large majority of niggas that be cheating just be trying to fuck
Not real.
hoes. I think
Yeah,
there
Exactly.
that
They
is
too.
a
want options
situation
and they
then
want the
where
hoes.
niggas
Exactly.
aren't fulfilled for whatever reason inside their relationship, so they use that as an excuse because at the end of the day, it is a fucking excuse. And they go outside the relationship. But the vast majority of niggas that cheat just want some pussy. We gotta keep it a bean. We
Okay.
hang around niggas. We talk to niggas. We
No
got the
I'm not
group
the
discipline.
enough.
chats. Come on now.
Like I said in the beginning. Thank you, Rashad. Like I said in the beginning.
Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks, Rashad.
You want to be a nigga so
Yeah,
bad.
I hate
My
that
God.
you putting this energy out to the world because I think a lot of niggas,
Don't let me
especially
tell
as
you
we
what you
get
want to be,
older.
DB. You want to talk about what people want to be? Okay, yeah. Let's keep it cute. It's
That
Friday.
was a joke. It was a joke.
Especially as we get older, I think a lot of niggas, if they in relationships, they cheat because like they not getting satisfied by that woman. I don't think niggas be want to sign up to have a bunch of hoes on the side, to be honest. But, I think, yeah, when niggas is younger, like, yeah, niggas just want to have a bunch of hoes options. But as like niggas get older, from what I see, at least, niggas probably cheating because they ain't happy at the crib.
Yeah, I think that when we go out and we around the homies and shit like that, I do think that there is a level of, especially if you don't have like the good influences around, there is a level of bravado. Like niggas are competitive with everything, and I think that women is one of those things as well. And where it's like who got the baddest bitch or who got the most bitches and shit like that. And so I think that uh plays out in real life as far as niggas trying to fuck hoes and just go back and tell, because a lot of times it's not even for niggas, right? It's for the ability to just like tell your homeboy, right? Or like show off, yeah, I fuck this bitch type shit. And so it don't necessarily be all the time like something's going on at home, because niggas be having happy homes and then still just want a bitch. Go out to the club, see a bitch, and be like, oh shit, know what I mean? Let me see if I still got it. Let me get her number. And then that shit turn into to other shit. Like I don't necessarily, when we
I
have these
hate that y'all be
conversations,
pointing out that the club be the only
no,
place that a
I'm just
nigga meet a
giving an
bitch.
example. But we have these
Nah, I
conversations,
got
and DB, you the main one when it comes to leadership, and a man need to be the
you. Yeah,
X
be
Y
honest.
Z. I think a nigga in that leadership encompasses self control. No matter if you're transparent or not.
No
If you
doubt.
get with a bitch and you gave off the we are going to be in a monogamous relationship vibes, and then you get into a relationship and she's not holding up her end of the bargain, you being quote unquote transparent after the fact or giving an ultimatum and do XYZ, or, this is going to happen and that might encompass cheating. I think that's bullshit, in my opinion.
I
Okay.
yeah, I think I disagree with that, but I mean, like I said, I think everybody got their own circle of people, but um I think a lot of niggas cheat just cause it's like, again, maybe the woman ain't, maybe you're not as attracted to her no more, maybe she ain't doing this and that or whatnot. Like, especially like as niggas age, niggas ain't trying to have a bunch of women. That's more headaches. So like you rather just have one, but like if that one ain't doing what she needs to do, then yeah, I mean, you either gonna be like DB and be honest about it, or you gonna go cheat it. But one way or another, you gonna do what you gonna do because you ain't happy. I think you giving a lot of grace to, like, you expect you. I mean, it sounds like you think all these women are doing what they supposed to do, doing when they're in the relationships, and I don't think that's the case.
No, but I do think that even you, Mike,
That
where you
is
say
another
that
factor.
happiness comes and goes. You say that all the time about everything. And so I think that that same sentiment can be said in a relationship. Happiness comes and goes. So you're basing your honesty and your loyalty and your trustworthiness and your monogamous on something that you say come and go. I think that's dumb. Right? You're not going to be happy 24/7, but in a relationship, the goal is to continually love that person and find that spark. Right. And so if you're not being intentional and she's not being intentional, things are going to fall through the cracks. But a lot of folks, not even just niggas, a lot of folks be expecting shit that they don't even give themselves. And then use I'm not happy as an out to do some foul ass shit when you could just figure it out and be cool in a relationship. Rick, what's the word?
Hello, how you doing?
Another day on the right side of the dirt. This is the day that the Lord has made. Wake it up.
Amen.
Um, so we upset. We upset at Andy.
Are we upset? No, I was trying to figure out cheating etiquette. I think that him being at a concert, she married, he married. I think that if you are gonna cheat, that is a no-no in the cheating game. Don't do that.
Well, do we got confirmation they was cheating?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
How?
confirmed. They confirmed they both are married to different
I
people.
mean, yeah, they both married.
You can't hug nobody when you married.
Yeah, like you can't hug nobody
I
from the
can't bring
back.
up the groceries.
Okay. All
You
right.
can't hug, right? You can't hug nobody from the back because you
Okay.
married, bro.
Okay.
What
Whatever
if she
y'all
was
want to say.
choking?
Whatever
We
y'all want to
don't
say.
know.
Their
Salute. We
reaction
don't
would
know.
say that they knew that they were wrong.
It
Okay,
probably
Mm-hmm.
like
all
a
right.
bad look. That's
That's
why.
fair. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so they reaction. No, I feel like they just didn't want to be on camera.
And I
Like, all
think
right.
that's the bigger conversation. Like when you out at events, it's just like, yeah, if you took your girl out to eat or you took your side bitch out to eat, why the fuck does somebody have a camera in my face? Like that's like, in some states you can't do that. Like you just can't pit me on a fucking jumbotron. Like that nigga,
That is not true, Mike.
the
At a concert?
cheating right or wrong. I'm not really here like to debate that because I don't know if the nigga was cheating, but like he shouldn't be pit on a fucking jumbotron at a concert either. You know, like that
That's the
nigga, they didn't have permission
concert.
for that.
Yes, they do. What are you talking about?
Did
Yeah, they
they?
do.
Did he
Yeah, as
sign
soon
Yes.
as
something
you
that
come,
saying you could pit my face on a fucking jumbotron?
yeah,
They
probably,
yes, when you
yeah,
get
it's
the
in the
ticket,
contract.
it talks
Yeah, I'm
about
finna
the
say
recording and
It's
all
in
that
a
stuff. It's
ticket.
on your
No, no, no,
ticket.
no,
it's in the
no.
ticket shit.
It's in a ticket.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
Then
what
I
I
once you
said
get
in
stand
the
the ticket
ticket.
corrected
And
in,
it
then.
As
tells
soon as you
you, yeah,
purchase.
it tells
like
you
when you,
that
when you go to
every
Ticketmaster,
public
that's what you
event,
pay.
yeah,
That's the same that go for
it says
NBA
same for
games or
name
NFL
exactly.
games
I ain't
also.
never
Yeah,
Right.
seen that
yeah.
at a concert either though, but I could be
Photography,
wrong.
It's in
yeah,
a
it happens. It
No,
happens
no,
at
no,
Yeah,
bro.
that's
Beyonce
what I'm
too.
saying. Like the
Bro,
odds
if
of
that
that
bitch on
happening where they
Ticketmaster,
panning around a 40,000 seated plus a venue, like hell no, that shit. The odds of that happening is so slim to
I know,
none. Like
no, that
continue to
was
go to your
crazy. But
concert
see,
with
the
your
thing
bitch.
is, like, why we acting like it's like niggas don't have work wives.
That's why I said I don't do it. If I find out, it's a problem.
Okay, so where you work at? You the boss, right?
Something like that.
Something like that, right? Like tiny boss in charge. I get it. And so
This motherfucker.
hey, well, no, you saying you ain't never had no work wife for sure?
I've never fucked with a bitch at work, period, when I wasn't in charge.
Wait, so you ain't never fucked nobody from no job?
Never in my life.
It in 34 years?
It's always seemed like some dumbass shit to me.
You ever
I
worked
swear
at
to
a call
God, I've
center?
never, like, there's so many bitches outside of work. Why fuck with the work bitches?
I
I never did
mean,
it.
Easy access.
right? Like what?
I stuff I
Proximity.
never did. I never seen it work. Like I've seen multiple times. I think I told a story on here in where my homeboy was fucking with a joint. They broke up, and she went to HR and was like he was sexually harassing her, and she said like something had happened between them and where the police had to get involved. But we were out of town. We were actually out of town together. And so it was ticket stubs and pictures and shit like that. But that's the only way that he got out of that,
Well,
because
Rashad.
he was just mad and start being spiteful and vindictive and, cost the job and almost, because still, they wasn't supposed to be doing that shit anyway. So nigga got fired. I seen another time where, strolling into work 5 o'clock in the morning, the husband in the goddamn parking lot, and he see buddy who his wife cheating with, he start kicking the car and fighting in the parking lot. I'm like, this shit don't work. Like, why do people do that? And he got fired.
So Rashad, definitely can. I mean, I ain't fucked no work bitch in years at this point, but you missed out on some very convenient, very good vagina, brother. I'm just. No. You brought Rashad. You're not even thinking about this practically, right? Your break at 12, break at 12, right? Her 15 at
You,
10, my 15 at 10. You see what I'm saying?
Bruh,
you get off
this
at
nigga,
3.
this
Like,
nigga
She
was
get off at
yeah.
making,
3.
Like, what
this
you
nigga
talking
was
about, goddamn?
making
Like, this nigga nuts.
110 a
All
year
right,
and
bucko.
got fired over a bitch that was making 16 an hour. No! When I see that, nah, man, ain't no way in hell, fam. Y'all niggas crazy.
I mean, what? Like, did you see all this like when you was 21 or what? Because like I'm saying, like,
That happened when I was like 27. And then the other one happened when I was like 25.
okay, so why you ain't fuck no bitches at 24? Because you ain't seen nothing then.
Honestly, that just was my vibe. Like the joints at work, I always kind of like even now, like I
It
keep my
wasn't no
work
fat
life.
booty bitches at your job. Just say that.
No, I just
No,
kept
just keep it. Yeah, no,
my
like
work life
solo
and
Mike.
my
Let's wake
personal
it up.
life
Let's
different.
keep it a
Like,
bean. Let's keep it a bean.
nah,
If a,
I've seen some joints at a time, but
if a
like it
Mariah
wasn't.
Mills built bitch was over there at that call center with you, nigga,
Nah, I can't do it. I
huh?
couldn't. I can't do it. I can't. Even
Uh,
now, like folks at work know what I want them to know. Like it's not even like I don't really give it up like that. I think a lot of people go to work and they be too personal, and then that's how these situations be happening. Cuz
I
about to
agree.
lose his
Now that I
motherfucking
agree
shirt.
with. That I agree with. I will say niggas do be treating work like it ain't work. Like they be forgetting. Like they be telling niggas too much. Like,
Bro, I had a homeboy. And Torin, I see you. I had a homeboy. He was in the military. He was like 23 or some shit. He was smoking weed and shit. He went and told, I don't know what the equivalent of supervisor, but he told his supervisor because he thought that him and the supervisor was cool and shit. So he talking about the weekend and he smoked and shit like that. They done wrote that nigga up. He got kicked out the army. I was like, nigga, why did you think that that was okay for you to go and tell this nigga
hell
that you
yeah,
did this
you
shit?
got kicked out the army, dumbass nigga.
Yeah,
Now,
like
but
niggas
see,
just be too
that's just
personal.
playing. That's just playing stupid, right? Rashard, like I done told like some stories too. Like man, like I'd have been at work. I remember when I worked there, like a call center joint. Like I had this little Jones. She had a nigga or whatever. But like again, lunch break, she would just be like, "Hey, what you doing?" I'd be like, "I'm finna go get me like a Subway sandwich." She'd be like, "You want to get your?" And I'm like, "Sure." And then she do that. Then she just go home.
Nah, that's too much for me. Torin, what's the word? How you feeling?
What's good, man? I be trying to do work in the middle of the day, and then you do a space. I put my damn laptop down every time, brother. That's good on you.
I appreciate it, man. Fix it there. Appreciate you coming up and hollering at us.
No doubt. Peace to the room. As I remember a couple of days ago, you called me the elder statesman in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and utilize that authority. As somebody who has spent some time in corporate America, and somebody who has seen a few things, I'm gonna answer the question in the room, and then I'm gonna explain why I answered it. Is there cheating etiquette? Yes, there absolutely is cheating etiquette when you're talking about corporate America. And I know most of y'all got jobs and most of y'all have worked for somebody else. And look, if you work in a corporate environment, everybody in a corporate environment knows the people who are fucking each other in there because there's little telltale things that people do that you know that they're doing something. You may not see it, but you can feel it. And this situation here, especially if you got somebody who's a superior to you or somebody who's in the executive office, you know the little tales when somebody comes in 5 minutes after the other person is shit. or you be in the elevator, motherfuckers making conscious decisions not to stare at each other and not speak. You know what time it is. Now, what dude did here is a rookie mistake. Dude, um, everybody who, and I know this may hurt some people, hurt some people's hearts who got some ideas about love for Sex in the City and Hallmark, and the Hallmark Channel. Every wealthy man at that level has a wife and a work wife and a side piece. There's no way around that. 90% of them do it. What dude did stupid was he broke the rules of doing this in a hotel or in an executive hotel or going off on a quote unquote business trip or a convention because that's when they get down and doing this stuff in public. He set himself up to be set up on blast like that. Now this is a 1 in 1,000 chance that it could happen. Just like you go to the NBA game and you may be on a kiss cam, you may not. But when you're out in public like that, when you got your arms around her, she got her ass backed up against you, and you got your head on her shoulder. Ain't no getting around that. He made
They
it
was
work.
just hugging.
Yeah, nah, bro. And then he made it worse by trying to get up under the seat and crawl up on the floor and shit. If it
Well,
didn't make it,
listen, man, listen, bro. I feel
Think he
like
dropped his
Story. The
phone.
song, the
can
song
y'all
was
hear me?
called
I feel like
Hug Your
I
Neighbor."
feel like I
The-
feel like I feel like if they wouldn't have reacted like that, they could have got away with it.
That's what I'm saying. Dude had an oh shit face and then jumped on the ground and shit, crawling down like he in combat and shit. I'm like, dog, if y'all could have played that shit off and just maybe like kind of eased away from it and then
nigga might have seen something
yeah,
in the
put his
light.
arm around or something and laughed or something, that was it. But dude looked like the police pulled up on him and shit. So now, but to get to the point though, man, look, you'll learn. Some of y'all probably know. Once you get to that certain level, or you get around executives and people who do that, you know they got most of them dudes who live in double lives. And here's the thing about it: most of the wives know that shit. The only thing they're concerned about is like sisters tell brothers out here, don't have me out here looking stupid. He got his wife out here looking stupid, which means now she got to up the ante and go to the lawyers and shit. Because I guarantee you, by the time the night was over, lawyers was blowing her phone up by that morning and shit. So now she got to make herself look stupid by either filing or coming away with some shit to make him look bad and shit. So it was just
That
dumb.
boy worth 1.2 billion,
Yeah,
dog.
it's about to be 500 million. But I'm just saying,
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
it's about to be cut in half.
yeah.
Ooh,
We
we
got
she
something for
finna get
you.
that money
Even
too.
even worse,
Ooh, boy. They
even
got you in 4K, gang.
Yep.
even worse, because
Get him, girl.
normally when you do when
Yeah.
adultery is the reason, they usually have to hire private detectives and catch you coming out of the hotel like cheaters or some shit like that. This shit is on 4K, put on blast by one of the biggest entertainers in the world. Coldplay's one of the biggest acts on the planet. So that shit, so you got 54 million people done seen this shit. You got the lead singer of Coldplay laughing at y'all, talking about something. If y'all ain't cheating, y'all ain't got to do that shit. That motherfucker is cooked with no motherfucking grease.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, man. Listen, hate it had to be him. Come on, man. Hate it had to be Buddy. I hate to see
Got to
he
be more
not
careful.
black.
Got to be more careful.
He not black, but he's still a man. You know, we need, like Mike said, we might do need a little bit more protection for niggas out here, man. Cause that's nasty. It is nasty. You shouldn't be cheating. I ain't gonna lie, but that is nasty. But that's what you sign up for when you go to these goddamn concerts. When I was talking, I was thinking about all these documentaries that people be having, and they have concert footage and all kind of like fan footage.
Right.
Like I think that's pretty much
The
what you
same
sign
thing.
up for.
Yeah.
And where, to Mike's point where he said he doesn't think it's legal, I'm pretty sure that it is.
Yeah.
Because we've seen so many examples as far as media and folks putting stuff out where they ain't got 40,000 signatures for clearance and shit like that. So it might just be in the tickets.
No, no.
I don't be reading the tickets.
Normally,
I ain't gonna lie. I just get them shits and scan them when
Bro,
I
I
get
no,
ain't
in. I
no.
never
got
Cause
the
read
how,
them
ticket.
no,
either. I
bro.
just
I'm
cause
telling
buy
you,
'em.
it's in the fine print on Ticketmaster. Like when you on Ticketmaster, you get in that hole, and they have you clicking all the boxes. You saying like the right to indemnify and image release and all that shit. They getting all that out of there because yeah, they might get some footage, like you said, in 10 years from now when Netflix want to make a documentary, you ain't getting no check. So they make you like you gotta,
no,
Let's
like
make
normally,
that clear.
no, normally,
Your ass ain't getting out of
no,
now.
normally when you in a venue, because I do this shit. Normally they have big signs posted like at the entrance saying that you may be recorded for concert purposes
right,
and stuff like that. And by entering this venue, you waive the rights to any
right.
you basically it's attached to the agreement that consent to be recorded. So once you do that, then it's on. And normally it don't mean nothing unless you're doing some shit like that. So there it is.
You permit. What's the word? How you feeling?
Everything's good. Hey, I just want to chime in about, those executives at that level, they do have double lives. I know this one executive white person. He actually had a child while he was married, and then got back with his wife and had another child with her. And if you look at their photos, the stepchild was in the photos, and they all blended in and looked the same.
Sound like a
That is
happy
common.
blended family to me.
Yep, and you couldn't tell because you know
Yeah,
how
that's your life,
some of
Rashad.
us some of us
Never.
have this. Some of us have distinctive looks with our family. We know, oh, this one is a combination of the mother and father. This one pull more than to the mother side. This one pull more to the father side. White folks all look the same in those photos. So, a lot of white women who are married to these top ranking executives live double lives because a lot of these executives have two residences. They have their main house and they also have a small apartment when they are on the road traveling. Uh, and yeah, it's very relevant for the white guys and also the white women too that's up at that level too, because if there are female executives, not only CEOs, COOs, CFOs, senior vice presidents, and all that stuff, they all have a little bit of a get down in their system, especially when they are away from the house and got two kids under the age of 10 and everything, and a husband sitting at home watching the kids while they're on the road. Don't ask me how I know, but I just know because when you are black and around those circles, you need to know your environment just in case you have to, back down and don't want to get caught up into uh, being the only one at the Mandingo parties and stuff like
Wow.
that. But,
Wow.
He's not lying. He's
but,
not lying about that. I'm just.
Hold on, wait. Let me shout out my dog Jr. Spliff. He is a forward thinker. He said sent the soon to be ex-wife a connection request on LinkedIn. Wake it up. Clap it up for Jr. Spliff. This nigga is on it. He trying to get paid. Hey, I ain't mad at you, fam. Fist in the air for a forward thinker. Lavita, what's the word? How you feeling?
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday.
Mhm.
I'm good. How are
Hey,
you?
yo.
All good. Another day. Another day.
So I actually was a director at a privately owned company in Philadelphia, and I put an email in the jumbo. This email went out to the entire company as well as the board of directors, as well as it was mailed to the CFO's wife. The CFO was having an affair, white man, having an affair with our HR director at the time, who was given the title HR director after she started sleeping with the director. Mind you, this young lady was a beautiful black girl, sleeping with this disgustingly old white man, but the email is quite juicy. You guys can read it. I just keep it around because I'm still astonished that I even was a part of something as ridiculous. But that affair ended up imploding our entire organization. Um, and we inevitably had to sell the company to a different company just so they could kind of get out of everything. If you ever work in a place where, first of all, prior to social media, most affairs were the inception of them was happening at the workplace. Unfortunately, uh, it happens a lot. You spend sometimes if you're a director or a manager, you spend anywhere between 10 to 14 hours a day at work. A lot of times you're on flights, you're in hotels overnight, um, and you're kind of traveling around with these people, and you spend more time with them than you do your actual family. So there does get to be this kind of level of relaxed nature that can sometimes taint the waters of professionalism. Um, I have had people that I've dated, never at work at the same time, but once I left the job or if they left the job or whatever. But, you always playfully say like, oh, I have a little work husband. I've always had, everywhere I work, I always have guys that are like, oh, let me buy you breakfast. Let me buy you lunch. Let's have lunch together.
Red
You know,
flag. Lavita, you let niggas buy you lunch?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I
Oh,
like
That's
come
to
like a
on,
spoil
body.
a
I ain't
man.
gonna
nigga.
lie.
Yeah, that's
Hi,
violation.
Dolly. Oh yeah.
Oh.
Aww. But yeah, I do. I do. Never a glizzy, but a sandwich sometimes. Maybe some Starbucks. I don't know. Maybe a
You let them do
smoothie.
that
Shout
if you're in a relationship though?
No, no. I'm lying. I have. Yes, I
Oh,
Hey,
that's
listen,
that's
self
basically
awareness. Listen
cheating.
there for self awareness and honesty.
have. No, I'm totally lying because when I was working at this place, lived with my boyfriend and he knew like, hey man, I got a little young friend at work who loves me and he likes to buy me lunch. And my boyfriend would always be like,
Oh, she had a duck ass nigga.
TB, please, let's not stray far away from the point here, which
Don't
is sometimes
Nah,
sometimes
fuck all
say,
that.
some
He
well,
said like,
you
fuck
don't
that.
want
work
to be.
affairs happen. And those are oftentimes, I think, because you are so kind of laser focused and forgetting the fact that this is work. I think a lot of things, and men cheat like, elephants in a china shop. Like they're not very stealth. A lot of times they breadcrumb and they get caught for dumb reasons. So yeah,
No, y'all
unfortunately,
just miss y'all calling, and all y'all women should work
no.
for the FBI and CIA, cause y'all be cracking
Oh,
codes and all kind of shit. That's how it
oh
really be
man,
happening.
Those who
oh
seek
man.
shall find.
Hold on, wait. Let me
Listen,
ask you a question, Levita.
yeah.
Do you think that there is, and then we're gonna get to permanent and Torrent. Do you think that there is that they can come back from this unfortunate mishap that has been put on the nationwide stage?
Do you mean the gentleman or the lady?
The woman.
Because I'm going to tell you the truth. The gentleman most certainly can come back. I know in my organization that I worked with, there were C-suite stipulations as far as behavioral expectations from the board of directors. Fraternization was clearly against the policy. However, they did not fire that gentleman. They did put the young lady on a leave of absence indefinitely. I think a lot of times, especially if the person that you're cheating with has a lesser or less integral role to the operation of the organization, that person will likely get cut or be asked to leave or, be demoted or fired because you're less integral to the operation. This gentleman is not only one of the founders of this tech company, but he is a C-suite member of the organization. So obviously he's integral. And likely these two were on a work trip together, and it's really unfortunate, but I do think that the female will probably bear the brunt of the professional hammer that will come down.
Well,
But I think
if she
personally,
wasn't getting the other hammer, she wouldn't have to deal with this hammer.
that's right, town.
Go ahead, Torrent, and then we got permit.
Yeah, there's a show that I discovered that I heard about a long time ago, and I would suggest anybody who's interested in business check it out. It's called Mad Men. You ever heard of it?
Yeah,
Mad Men,
I heard of
yeah,
it.
Mad Men is it's basically it's a ad agency. It's about its ad agency in New York on Madison Avenue, set in the 50s and 60s. And even though it's a fictional show, a lot of the stuff that they talk about in that show is really, really the truth when it comes to how white men who are in executive positions get down. Because damn near every character on that show who was male was married and had a side chick in the office that he met in the office, and some of them set him up in apartments. A couple of them had kids by him and stuff like that. And that shit was going, and that was in the 50s and 60s, and it still goes down to a degree. But the point that I'm trying to get to with that is that once you are at that level, the majority of men in that position are doing something on the side. It's just about how you do it and who you're doing it with. I mean, if you look at old TV shows like Bewitched and stuff like that, set in offices, it was always like a running joke where like somebody was chasing the secretary around the desk and stuff like that. And now we can look at it from a modern point of view and say that, yeah, it was sexist and a lot of that shouldn't have happened. But a lot of that stuff was mutual because you had women in that role because that was the role they were relegated to. They saw that as a come up, and men saw it as basically free range and stuff. And to get to the point though, it's like people do stuff. Is this some sort of like horrible offense on a business level? Maybe so, but it's not criminal. And it all comes down to the fact that what people do and how you do it is what determines that. Now, the thing that's going to be interesting about this is, like the sister who just spoke said, when you're with somebody on a regular basis, especially when you're in a high pressure, high stress job, and you have to always be on all the time, because the way, especially even if you're in a C-suite position, even if you're very wealthy, the pressure to keep that money coming in and growing that money and always being on and always being on for your board of directors, on for your staff, on for the people, your colleagues and everything, because all that shit is competition. That's why I say I love Mad Men, because it shows the competition between different businesses and even with different wealthy men in the same room and stuff. It's constant pressure. And if you don't have a wife or a partner at home who's able to take that pressure off you, and if you don't have somebody who can understand that, and understand that world, just like in the military when you're going on deployment, you are eventually going to stray. Human beings are going to be human beings. People are going to have desires, and people are going to fuck. Just to be direct about it, if we can be real in here, it's just about what you do with it and who you're going to be doing it with. Now, having said that, like I said earlier, if that is going to happen, there are ways to do that without putting yourself on blast and being so dumb enough that you end up embarrassing yourself, embarrassing your wife, and embarrassing your company and putting your own financial health at risk. Because this is what dude did. When you get into those positions, then you have to really start having some discernment about what you're dealing with. And to be frank, that woman really should have had better discernment, because, like the sister said, whatever comes down, dude is going to be all right. He's still a billionaire. Even if he loses half of his wealth, he's still worth $500 million, not even factoring in whatever stock options he has in that company. And unfortunately, when he comes back to the office after the cooling off period, all his peers are going to be laughing and joking with him and stuff, and they're going to sit behind that boardroom and laugh about it and get right back to work. She may be screwed unless she gets a lawyer who tries to finesse her into saying that it was some sort of power imbalance. So it's gonna be fucked up, man. You know,
Yeah, I think that could be a play. I think she's an executive in there, because it's not necessarily like he was fucking with somebody on the assembly line. So I think that, I don't know, that might be difficult. I'm
That
not going
assembly
to
line
make
supposed
that
to
play.
be good though.
I think it'll be difficult to make that play. I did want to ask the ladies a question after Permit and Black Pressure. If y'all could stick around, go ahead, Permit. Can't hear you if you're talking, big dog. Can't hear you. You might got to drop and then come back up, Permit. Go ahead, Black Pressure.
All right. What's up, fam?
What's
Good
the word? How you
afternoon there.
feeling today?
I'm good, man. Good afternoon. Well, good afternoon. It's afternoon in Houston. I don't know where everybody else is, but I want to say this, and it's kind of it's not a disagreement with the brother Terrain, but I'm going to offer a different perspective, because I do agree with what he said when he said, especially in a environment where you work together, like he said, people are going to sleep with each other. I've experienced it myself, and I don't have near the money this guy had. But I will say this, and excuse me, the simplicity in what I'm about to say, it might turn some people off, or it might be a narrative made for, a utopian world or whatever. But I remember me and my grandmother, were having this conversation when Kobe Bryant got caught up in his little scandal in Colorado, where ultimately he cheated on his wife with the white woman. And me and my grandmother's long since passed away, but at the time she was living, and we were talking about it, and she offered to me a genius perspective, but it was simple. She said, I don't get these young men when they have everything in the world to lose and they risk it by cheating. And if I was those young men and I had that much money, she said, I would be single and live how I want. And really, when you think about it, like I say, it's simple, but it's true. Why
You
be
don't get those
married?
positions if you single though.
Go ahead.
You don't get
Yeah,
those high level positions if you single. They usually give it to
Well,
somebody married.
you might have a point with that, but I'm saying, like, in anyone who literally gets paid, by the hefty bag. You could be, NFL, NBA, whatever other kind of professional athlete, or just someone that has recognition or fame and a lot of money. Why, like my grandmother said, why get married and live how you want when you have shit to lose, instead of being single and live how you want when you have nothing to lose? And, I'll mute up and listen.
I wanna ask a question. We love all nanas around here, so fist in the air for Nana. I would ask. why would that be the option instead of just keep your dick in your pants? That would be
Well,
my
that's
pushback.
good. That's a good question. I think she was speaking on the situation as it happened. He had already done it. I think that was her point of view, and she was coming from. She wasn't like teaching a lesson. She was saying, "Hey, you could have done that and not been married and have kids and risked everything." I think that's the point of view that she was coming from.
Okay. Okay. I did want to ask the ladies a question. Then we're gonna get to you, Torin. Just for this, I think I already asked Jonay. As far as like from the wife's vantage point, so Lavita, do you think that there would be a situation in where they could reconcile? It's like in if you can answer this second part, is cheating a deal breaker for you?
So I don't know the wife. It's being reported that she had allegedly dropped her last name from her social media, but that later came out to be a fake story. Um, and she did deactivate her social media. Listen, a lot of times when these guys are in these particular positions, their wives oftentimes do not work. They're home to take care of the household and make sure that that's running smoothly. So from that perspective alone, she is not known to the public. To me, she can very well be at the supermarket next to me and I wouldn't fucking know who she was. So could she move on from this? Way more easier than they can, than the gentleman and the mistress could. Is cheating a deal breaker for me in a marriage? Um, it definitely is. It's, I won't say that it is a deal breaker, especially in that kind of marriage. But what I will say is it definitely changes the rules of engagement.
Understood. Jonay, is cheating a deal breaker in marriage?
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my God! I knew
You
I
ain't you
knew
ain't
he was coming off mute.
You got to learn to
Go ahead. Let's
control it,
ask
man.
DB what he wants. Go ahead,
Yeah, let's ask DB. DB is
okay, and
cheating
then
a
I'll
deal
What
answer
breaker.
I'll answer
what
when he's
changes
done.
what changes to the rules of engagement? You pussyfooting around with that one. What is that? Because you like you're not leaving, but what? What are you changing? He cheated. He came back home. He didn't have a baby on you.
How do you know
Why
this?
is baby the only thing you care about?
Because that's
And
what women probably more than likely would leave for, if you're being honest.
no, no.
If
And
he
it
had another, if that nigga had another baby, come on, man. Now don't be up too, now.
well, first of all, I'm Jamaican, so
Bum
Jamaican
buckle
women
out.
have
I don't know
mieti
what that
all the
means.
time. Okay, Jamaican women have mieti all the time. That's just cultural for us. Jamaican women get man gear jacket all the time. That's just what it
All right,
is.
somebody translate this shit.
But as far as
She
I'm
gets a lot of
concerned,
bodies in that jacket.
that's right.
Gosh,
And
so they birds.
TB,
DB, you missed
I'm
it
being
again. Missed it
No,
again. Go
I'm
ahead.
just saying. I'm
You
just
gotta spend
clarifying to
you gotta
English.
take a trip to Brooklyn
No,
and spend
DB,
about two
hey,
weeks
I'm
here.
trying to figure out what she's talking about too.
here's what I will say.
I'm like,
Here's what I will
translate
say.
this to English.
It is likely that someone who cannot control themselves and their impulsivity as far as even speaking will likely be unable to
Clock
control the
it,
impulsivity in other factors as
clock it,
well.
Lavita.
Listen, the rules of engagement
Good
are
ass
going to
them. Good
change.
ass them.
Oh, come on,
Yo,
Jamaican Joe.
Jonay, all your accents is just bad.
Hold
All
on,
of them.
what the
Yeah,
fuck
for
is
real.
You
that?
Like you
tried the
a
British
No,
one
American
listen,
girl.
yesterday.
Rashad, I'm
I
going to
know.
be
Really?
That shit was terrible.
Mutter, brother Tutter. You shut your ass up. You can't talk about nobody talking in
I'm
your
just
regular
saying, your
English language.
accent. I mean,
You be quiet.
come on.
Rashad,
You be
don't be a
quiet.
bloke. Come on. I'm
Hey,
sorry, I'm supposed to be British this weekend.
listen,
Huh?
man.
Rashad, don't be a bloke. Okay? Don't be a
My
British.
London joint on the way.
Come on,
Shit.
bro. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, it's going to change the rules of engagement because you have now just embarrassed the fuck out of me. It is one thing for you to be cheating, right? It is a whole nother thing now for it
Girl,
to have
take this go yard bag and go about your day.
rumors, jam. This is not a DB, this is not just some around the way filet who you could just give a Goyard bag and a trip to Cancun and call it even, right? It's not that kind of party. This is a marriage. This is a contractual and spiritual obligation that you obviously deferred from without speaking to me. So, yes, we have a problem. Houston, there is a problem. And is that going to change the way I treat you going forward? Yes, you're untrustworthy. You're fucking untrustworthy. You are out in public parading around this bitch who, quite frankly, why the fuck? Are you stupid? Of course it's going to change the rules of engagement. Even if we weren't married, even if we were just dating, it's going to change the way that I engage with you. Hello?
Yeah,
Uh,
the
c-
parading part, I think that's the nasty part. Like I said, meet her up in the park, fuck her in the back seat. That's one thing.
I met her at the
But
concert.
you in the
Y'all just
goddamn,
y'all
you lovey dovey with this,
please.
that's nasty. I can't lie.
Nigga, you had your dick pressed against her
It's
back.
50,000
Hold on,
people in
Rashad.
here.
You ain't never loved on the
No,
side piece?
no, no, no,
I
no.
never cheated. I never had a side bitch.
Well,
He
look,
never
Now,
lived.
Rashad,
Rashad,
He
you in the
never he
minority.
never
Most
lived
niggas
yet.
cheated.
you haven't lived, Rashad, until you've cheated. Come
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, well, I
Come
don't
on.
want
They'll
to
well,
cheat
live.
once and then come back
well,
I
and
don't
tell
want
them.
to live. Take me
Nah,
now.
I agree with you,
I don't want
Lavita.
to
This
live.
nigga never lived.
Hold
well,
on,
you
wait.
know,
Let Jonay answer the question though before we get to you, Premier.
He
Jonay,
ain't got that dog in him.
in a marriage, is that a deal breaker? You're not the deaf do us apart type. Sound like Levita ain't either. Wake it up. Y'all ain't taking the vow serious.
Can I
Wake it
speak? But
up.
can I speak without, is that okay? Um, so for me, I am not leaving my husband over a cheat unless there's a baby. That's me.
See?
But
I
if
said
I'm
that.
but if I'm can I oh wow. But if I'm dating you, I'm not sticking around. That dating and cheating, like I said earlier, is not happening. It's a one and done, never again. I'm never gonna speak to you again. That's a dub.
Yeah,
Dating you and you're cheating
he
is some
like these
dumbass shit. I would like to finish without interruption. So yeah, for me, absolutely positively, there depending on it, the scenario, if there was some embarrassment like this gonna be a lot to recover from. But I'm definitely not recovering from no child. No,
Why is the child a deal breaker?
it just is.
Because you should be more smart.
It
And
is.
also
It
That's a
just
little
because
is.
sloppy.
Hey,
Simple.
Rashad,
because
you like the most
you
perfect nigga of all time.
you
I ain't
brought
gonna lie.
another financial
Boy.
Because hold on, wait. Because I
you
don't
brought
cheat, I'm
Boy.
perfect.
So you see the standard,
The
Rashad,
bar
the
is
Hey,
in
low
hey,
hell.
Rashad.
standard, the bars in
The
hell,
bars
hey,
in
Rashad.
He wanna
hell.
You
he
see
wanna
this,
be
Rashad? This is
Russell
what this
Wilson
yo,
type so
Rashad. This
bad.
why you can't be walking around the mall with these niggas no more.
Yo,
That's why right here.
y'all niggas
Short
crazy.
short niggas unite. He wanna be Russell Wilson so bad.
Y'all niggas. Go ahead, Tori, and then permit.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to respond to the brother who spoke earlier. Um, as somebody who actually worked in corporate America and has sat at tables with some of these folks, what you got to understand is when you are married in that world, it's not just about your marriage. Those people who are in executive positions do not bring in people unless they fit into the corporate structure that they want. And the majority of corporate structure culture in America is a man and a woman with kids. That's what they do, and that's what you have to be able to advance in that society. Not because of what you do in the boardroom, it's because when you're in that level, you're creating a whole separate culture of like dinner parties and golf courses and trips to different places on somebody's yacht and stuff like that. And when you are, which is really where real business on that level gets done. And when you're doing that, you're not going to have nobody around you that you can't bring around other people's wives who they can talk about things and not be able to feel embarrassed and stuff. That's one thing. Like people, like a lot of sisters got mad when Kevin Samuels was talking that shit. But a lot of the shit that he was saying was real shit. Like if you are a hood rat, you are not gonna pull no $100. You're not gonna pull no man making 6 or 7 or 8 figures because it's not about him. It's about what he represents, and you are a representation of that man. So if you are in that situation, and if you're married to somebody on that level, there's responsibilities culturally that the man and the wife have to fulfill. The wife has to look good and put on the evening gown for like events and galas and shit like that. The man has to put on a tuxedo or whatever and be able to talk business with people who are coming from other countries and people who may be potential clients down the road. That's how that works. And if you are a dude and if you are a man who has a side piece, like I've already said, a lot of these people have side pieces. This particular situation makes him look crazy because there's a protocol to be able to do that stuff that he failed to follow and stuff. These men usually take these women off somewhere, out of sight, out of mind, or they take them to some executive place, or they take them to a wealthy hotel where the staff of the hotel knows and they're not asking no questions when you bring somebody in there and you usher them back out. What he did was just dumbass rookie mistakes. And I think a lot of times when we have these conversations, we think on the level that we're on, and we don't think about the level that these people are on. And I'm just saying that, brother, to say that and that's why I'm
Absolutely.
saying that being married is why they do the things they do, aside from just being single and doing their thing, because they get married because of what it'll benefit them financially and how it'll benefit them in their business and their career. Now, having said that, I don't know these people's house. I don't know what kind of shit they got going on. I put a picture up in the jumbotron of the dude's wife and his kids, and the woman is actually very attractive compared to the woman he's kicking it with. But I don't know what kind of skills. I don't know what kind of skill set. Who got what? I don't know what the skill set is, but we've seen it before in the real world too. So I don't know. But what I would,
Dr. Umar be mad at
but
some of y'all
but what
niggas.
I'm
I know
saying,
y'all taking the
but what
bait.
I'm saying, but what I'm saying is this: if you're gonna do that, all I'm saying is there's a protocol, and also I don't know what kind of arrangement they made, because they may have had an arrangement. They may have had an out of sight, out of mind arrangement. What you do outside of my sight, I don't want to hear about it. The fact that she heard about it, now that puts a defense system on her to be able to react. It's almost like if you get in a fight and get hit in somebody's house, nobody sees it. If somebody slaps you on the street, you almost got a responsibility to respond. So it's fucked up. I guarantee you the divorce lawyers were sitting outside their house that morning and shit with cards and phone numbers and shit. So we'll see how it plays out, man. Wild world. That's all I got.
Hold on, wait. Let me go ahead. Appreciate y'all here. It's 123. Repost the space, repost the space, repost the space. Follow the host. Follow some folks up here that said some good shit to you, man. I did want to give a shout out to Cindy, to y'all. That's her name. She subscribed to the Patreon $5 tier last night. Definitely appreciate Cindy. Fits in the air for her. Yeah, if you have any comments, come up here and speak. We got you. Folks in the A9s, you are definitely welcome. I wanted to read these tweets that were in the comment section before we get to Permit, then Levita. RC said, if you still care about the success of the man at that level for whatever reason, whether it be for kids' sake, etc., then the best thing to do is stay with him. Capricorn Bay said child or STD are deal breakers for her. JR Spliff said, cause somebody asked why would the deal breaker be a child? JR Spliff said the child is a constant reminder of the affair. So I appreciate y'all in the comments, man. If y'all want to have a conversation, come up here. It's all good. Go ahead, you Permit.
Uh, couple points. One, that photo, she got young kids. She ain't going nowhere till them kids get of age, out of college, then she gonna get divorced. And when she gets divorced, that's when she'll be able to, rejuvenize her singlehoodism after they get older. That's what most white women will do because they got young kids. They will sit there and stay with my man until those kids get of age and out of college. That's why the divorce rate within white folks are at the average age of 45 to 50 years old because the kids are out the house. Mommy and daddy done raised them, and now she is the last before the 10 years. There's a 10-year window. Get your ass into the Planet Fitness gym, get your body right, and then you divorce his old ass, because you know he's a little bit older than her. Take 75%, half of his shit, and then go 500 young pool boy. That's what white folks do. Second of all, there's two types of behaviors that are discussed within this C-suite atmosphere. It's the behaviors of white folks in the C-suites, and also there's the behavior of black people in those same C-suites. It's the rules are not applied across the board. If you are a black executive in any type of leadership position, it's unlikely that you will be out there doing the same thing as of your counterparts. Because we know as black folk in those positions, all eyes are on us. Example, I tell my son, don't shit where you eat at. Watch yourself around these bars because a drunk mind speaks a sober tongue. Prime example, white women gets a little alcohol in them and they start to go over to the black guy. Hey, how you doing? I know I seen your profile picture, all this and that. All of a sudden, shit happens. But when that white woman come over to you and start whispering in your ear, watch the faces of the white guys that act like they drunk, but they paying attention to see what the fuck you're doing. See, there's two, like I said, when you talk to black people in leadership, they are more prone to, sticking to the standards, because that black guy or that black woman who is in that leadership position can't do the same thing like their counterparts. See, white men will get forgiven and move on to another position because they just chalk it up and have a good old conversation on the golf course. White women who get caught up in that shit usually gets put on another position, another job in another company, because when they get caught, they got the connections. Yeah, she slept on him, but you know what? It is what it is. She's a good worker. Her numbers are proven. She knows this person to get second chances.
Yeah, we don't
When
get that same grace out
we
here.
don't get that same grace.
Yeah.
So as a black person in a leadership position, you have to watch your surroundings.
Just
White people will sit there.
stop fucking at the job in general. Stop it.
Exactly.
All y'all.
Exactly. And also
Nah,
too,
I
when y'all go
can't
on
agree
these
with that, Rashad.
conferences, when y'all go to these conferences, one day just
Yeah,
wake up.
but
If
you
you go
got
to these,
you got a different type of job, Mike. So I think you get you. It's not moving fast
Hold
enough.
on.
Yeah,
Well, first of
I
Hold on.
think
all,
it's
So we
okay.
ain't
first
we
of
ain't
all,
talking
I think
about
Hold on.
Chris
those
Hold on. Hold
Martin,
on.
types.
you
Hold
can
on.
totally just
well,
go ahead.
And we ain't
well,
talking about the bug spray
Hold
convention.
on.
We
Wait.
talking
well,
GY.
about
GY.
corporate America.
Permit. You get into
thought
the
you did
GY
your big one
category,
there, huh?
the generational yapper category. Permit.
all
We
right,
got to
I
wrap
got
this
one
one
more
up.
thing to say. One more thing to say. If y'all go to these conferences and at 4:00, 4:30 in the morning, you start hearing doors close in the hallway,
Somebody getting
that's
bust down. Wake it up.
Yes, sir.
because
Yeah,
Go
That
ahead.
is
that's
a
Go
real.
ahead,
very
Levita.
good point. Very good point.
Go
That's
ahead,
yeah.
So
Levita. I
Them
want to hear
conventions when the
I
truth
Mike
comes
too.
out.
say,
Them con-
so I actually wanted to say, excuse me, I wanted to say that um, being married, first of all, when you get to that level, is for me, at least what I've observed, is less about the pomp and circumstance and the showmanship of it. There is a perception that exists when you are married, right? That's why you have lower car insurance, all of this other stuff, because it is perceived that you will act in a way that is less reckless because you have more to lose. There is this perception that there is a better level of stability, not only at home, but in the way that you think. Now, when you get to that level, one of the things that you have to do is be diabolical about the way that you move professionally, right? So, what this shows is that this man may, in fact, not just be impulsive, but he has a lack of understanding that could be detrimental to the business, so to speak, right? Because if you don't have the wherewithal to kind of see not just the immediate response and consequences, you could be hindering the business, right? So oftentimes when you're married and you get to that level, it's not just because we want you to come to dinner and yada yada yada. We want to know that your life at home is stable, right? And that you can think in a way, and not just stable because you have a wife, but it is stable because you think in a way where you understand the add value of having this woman at home, right? No one cares what's happening in your fucking house. They don't care if you're beating on her or whatever. What they care about is the perception of this man is smart. He knows when he's out here, he doesn't give a fuck about what's happening at home. He's got whoever at home taking care of it. Now, if he's moving sloppy outside and he's moving sloppy at home, the fact of the matter is he will probably move sloppy in the workplace. And that could cause issues. Beyond that, I heard somebody say something. Now, I don't know how many white friends y'all got, but I got a couple of good white Judies. And let me tell you, this bitch is probably likely not at home thinking, oh my God, my husband is just out there being perfect. Because a lot of times it doesn't just show up like this showed up. It shows up in other ways as well. You know, who knows what she's found in his laundry or his dry cleaning or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? And let me tell you something with white women. While they oftentimes can, especially white housewives, while they oftentimes can come off as docile and aloof, them bitches is out there cheating too. Trust me, I know. They
Trainers,
oftentimes
all of that shit.
will
You said
cheat
the
Hmm.
on
Packers.
their own.
The
They will
trainers,
Oh,
trainers.
shout out
they will
to you
oftentimes
know who.
Well, listen, they will oftentimes not cheat across in terms of finances or whatever. They will oftentimes cheat down because of what they have access to. So
Mm-hmm.
they're home all day taking care of the house. This man, this fine Mexican man is cutting the lawn.
Little
You know what
Mexico.
I'm
Cleaning the pool.
saying? This man is cleaning the pool. This man is
Mm-hmm.
teaching me how to play tennis. I see this man at my Pilates and yoga class
He
all the
gives
time.
me compliments.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
this man is a confidant to me when my husband is not home.
Mm-hmm.
His best friend who comes over and checks on me and the kids. So
The
trust me,
recent divorcee.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, the reason why the kid is oftentimes the benchmark for whether or not you will stay or not is not just because, oh, you had a kid, but there is a financial implication that is there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, this kid is a constant reminder, but also now you got to pay
You got to pay.
of our money. You got to go now take care of this kid. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't plan for that. We did not
Mm-hmm.
plan for that. Okay, so now you can take your ass on, and I'm sure Gloria Allred is already on the case.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead,
Go
Mike.
ahead, Big Vita.
I just think you're giving out a bad stigma to people that choose to fuck their coworkers. You usually spending what, 40, sometimes 50, 60 hours with these people. People that are nurses, teachers, they're more than likely they're gonna cheat with a coworker, or they're gonna find a boyfriend, husband at work because you're spending all this time with these people. Somebody already said it earlier, you spend more time with your coworkers depending on your gig than your family and shit. So if you find somebody attractive or whatnot and y'all got a connection, more than likely y'all gonna end up doing something together, cheating, maybe being together. Something's gonna happen because you spend time with these people. So you can
Mm-hmm.
definitely find, love at work. Yes, you did bring up some scenarios that it could turn negative, but it's also some positive scenarios out there. I mean, I didn't see some people that they didn't get married or whatever. Also seeing some scenarios like your shit
I
too.
mean, yeah, look at Jeff Bezos. He
Yeah,
met Lauren Sanchez. They were both cheaters. She left her husband. He left his wife.
right.
So,
See, I think what I'm saying
Hey,
is
right, Mike? You
the
crazy. No, right.
likelihood of it turning out happily ever after is not
is
as
low.
high as the negative, in my opinion, right? Because you do have the HR aspect, you do have breaking up, and things can turn sour. Obviously, cheating isn't good, so there's a lot of negatives, and where it's not really too many positives outside of happily ever after, and I don't think we see that as much when we get into work relationships. Maybe
Well,
I'm
the
tripping.
worst No, well, the worst part is oftentimes who ends up paying for it is not the cheaters themselves, but the organization. Because if this person somehow feels slighted, there's nothing for her to gain by individually coming after him judicially. There is everything for her to gain by coming after this tech company and spinning it however she wants to spin it. They cannot just fire her now. They can't. Even if they wanted to, they could not, because the judicial implications behind it, right now this man has put this company at a risk. And that's what I mean as far as the way you think and being married. He has now, because he is so impulsive and unable to control himself, he has now put this billion-dollar tech company at risk.
Shareholders,
And can I?
the stock
Yeah.
price, all that.
And can I just add something too? And there's a nuance to this conversation. I know I hate that word, but it is. There's not a problem with workplace romance. It is when you have management down, or like coworker to coworker isn't something that you can prevent. That happens very often. They also don't necessarily have policy against coworker to coworker relationships. They just ask that if there's ever a change in reporting structure, they ask that you report to them. So let's say you met somebody you worked with, they got a promotion and they became a supervisor. They just say, hey, you guys are dating. That's not a problem. Just let us know that you guys have now dated, so we can maybe, no one has to lose their job, but then, you can maybe report to someone else so you can maintain the relationship, but there is no issue with that. So what Mike was saying is that is a thing that happens very often. To your point, workplace romance is a thing that's embedded in corporate America. They know. Terrain said it beautifully earlier. It happens almost 90% of the time. When you work in corporate structures, you know exactly who's sleeping with who, you know who's going to lunch with who. who snuck off to get a break, and you see this person, that person always going outside together, having these random little conversations. All these
One,
things are cool.
one
It's
come
just
back
the
and then 5 minutes
problem.
later, one come back and
Exactly.
5 minutes
What
later, the
right,
next one show up.
exactly. Yeah, they always just so happen to take PTO around the same time. Like we get it. Like that's the type of stuff that you see. But it really is the biggest problem here is not even that they're cheating. That even if it was a cheating, it would just be, conversation for water cooler talk. But really this problem is if he's the CEO and she is the head of HR, that means he is her direct report. Because when you're a CEO, most times when you are the head of these, like Lavita said, C-level, you're sleeping with your boss. It's not that you're sleeping with somebody at your job. And so when you get into a situation of sleeping with your boss, which Lavita, if you clock in the T, and I know you are, most white women that get in those positions of powers have slept with someone to get there. So let's be very clear that that is what happens, and that's what Black women in corporate America see all day, every day, is white women loosen up that blouse,
Yo,
Look
what
at
expressing
you
y'all
that
sharing in
spilling the
this
into
tea
the
chat?
on the She
position.
Devil.
What
That
did
is
you on
that's
Rashad?
petty
Yo,
fact.
That's a
Well,
hundred.
I don't know. Wait, well, on my you wanna what? You wanna defend the white women? What is that your bag?
No, I was trying to figure out Rashad should delete whatever he got in his jumbo screen. That's it.
oh
Oh,
my
Oh
God.
my goodness.
oh my God!
Yeah, this freaky ass
See,
nigga.
you trying to?
I didn't know, Mike. I wasn't even looking at the jumbo. Thank you for sparing us, because I
Freak
wasn't even
ass
looking up there.
boy.
Anywho,
Ew.
so yeah, I think that's definitely a big thing. That a lot of people don't recognize. Like workplace romance isn't the problem. It really is when you have management level issues. Sometimes you can even talk about white women that get into these positions of power that don't really earn them, and then they end up getting it because they slept with the dude, and now they get found out. And then sometimes, like in this case, she might have known, okay, he slept with a couple of people, and maybe that was the way that she got in her position. Like it's a lot of that kind of dog eat dog, kind of like playing chess not checkers type shit that happens in corporate America, where people is like, listen, I might have slept with you and I'm sleeping away here, and that's going to solidify me and get this role and all that other type of stuff. And that's not the biggest issue. The biggest issue is when it's like management. But I don't see a problem with finding somebody at work. It's just how you do it, and it gets tricky.
I wanted to read my girl Paradise P her tweet. This freak ass nigga done put all this shit in the jumbo. See, I'm not homophobic, but
Man, what
fuck
Ew.
what
the
you come up
hell?
here.
Dion,
I looked at that and looked. What the
Jenkins,
fuck
you
going on?
disgusting
Yeah,
little perv.
like
You got
freak
to check
ass
these
motherfucker,
profiles out
man.
before you accepting people.
Shit is annoying as fuck.
Yeah,
But let
you
me read
gotta
this
you gotta
from
check out the
Paris.
profile.
Let me read this from Paris. She
Make
said,
somebody a co-host so they can delete this for you, because I don't want to see no white butt
yeah,
no more. I'm good.
freak ass nigga, man. Vicky, do me a solid, please.
What in the world?
Yeah, I was trying to scroll and find Buddy's name, but there was a bunch of ass and stuff right there. But good
Can you
morning,
delete this for me,
everybody.
please?
Hey,
Happy,
Charlie's mama.
good morning, my honey. And happy Friday. Real quick, if I can just say this, you want me to read,
No,
Paris' tweet or you want me to delete?
yeah, delete those.
Okay. Um, yeah, no, it's not, there's no X for me to even delete them, honey.
Oh shit. Think this the last time.
That
This
nigga
nigga
perv
fucking on the
bust your
damn
ass,
vibe. Okay,
nigga.
we good. I think we
He
might be
threw the
good now.
he threw
You
the
good
white boy to
now?
the
You good
timeline.
now?
Man, Rashad got Gag City pulled up in here and stuff.
I did that.
We got it. But
You
yeah, I
I'm
beat them
wanted
with
to
the
read
crying.
this
homo
tweet
thugs.
by Parrot. She put this up
I'm
yesterday, I
back.
think. Said work husbands and wives cheating isn't new. Most people spend majority of their time with their coworkers more than family. This is why it's important to ensure you're not getting complacent with your partner. Somebody always finds them enticing. Um, I agreed with unfortunately, the work wives and the work husband shit, it happens. I don't like it. But the last part of the tweet, when she said, this is why you don't get complacent with your partner, somebody always finds them enticing. I kind of had some pushback. I think I said it on the timeline. I think that, I, she didn't say it, but what went through my mind was like, living or doing things for your partner so that they won't cheat on you. right? Because no matter whether you're complacent or not, somebody is going to find your partner enticing. And so that's not up to you to, make them not want to cheat on you, right? Even if you are complacent, that it's not up
I
to you to
agree.
make them not want to cheat. That is up to them and their discipline and whatever they do to not cheat on you. That's why I
I
don't
agree.
really
I
get.
say don't make it easier, but I completely agree.
Yeah, don't make it
Don't
obvious.
make it
Like,
easier, but
yeah.
I completely agree. That has everything to do with you and
Yeah,
not
and I think we like
partner.
to get off,
It starts
oh,
there.
well, I wasn't happy, or, oh, they didn't do this for me, or I would just felt. And so we like to get off the fact that no matter what you were going through, and those things might be 100% true, but at the end of the day, you had a decision to make, and you made a decision to go out here outside of your relationship and cheat, right? And
And what
give
that
yourself to
also
somebody
does is
else.
that sets the premise that you're perfect. That the other partner did X, Y, and Z as if you're doing everything right. Like
Yeah,
I think that that's never when that type of narrative is said, I don't think that's what parents are saying fully, but if people lean into it, they will go into that conversation of, well, if you were doing what you're supposed to do, well then let's make sure we count up all the things you've done. And let's make sure there's not one era of flaw. And there always is. You're never with a perfect partner. So it's like complacency, things that someone else would find cheatable offense versus the other. There's plenty of wiggle room when you're in a committed relationship where you can find flaw as an excuse to do something you really want to do anyway.
facts.
Ladies, don't just be a picture on the desk. If you're married to this man, you better show your face at one of them office functions,
No,
cause
mind your business. You with a 1.2 nigga with $1.2 billion.
you
Mind
just
your
a
motherfucking
picture in
mouth
And
the
I
front
hope she
and
takes
shut
him
your
for
motherfucking
everything
mouth.
he fucking has too.
DV, I
Yep.
be trying to,
Get that $500
understand where
Nick.
you be coming from. Because you
I'm
speak from a
telling a
place of
woman to
like,
mind her business.
but you speak from a place in where
Don't
money
listen
My
to
ain't
her.
husband is
everything.
my business.
Like I
hello.
pray, like I said, the Mike Tyson quote. I pray that you get all the money in the world that you ever desired,
Why does
so
And
that
that
I
no
any
hope a
matter
it don't
woman
what
got
takes it
comes
all
anything
from
against,
this
you.
don't
that
got shit
money
to do
isn't
with
Rapes you.
me?
everything.
Why
Because that
why
you speak
why
from
this
that
ain't got
place a
nothing to
lot,
do with me?
huh?
This ain't got nothing to do with me.
No, but even this ain't got nothing to do with none of us. But we're still having a conversation about it and our
Yeah, but
input and how we think,
you making it
right?
more personal when
No, 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 no,
when
no.
you
It's not
say when you state directly, and I quote, DB, you nigga, no, nigga, nah, I ain't
because
talking
you
about
spoke
nobody
from a
directly.
place of your mindset. You said that he
I'm
makes
speaking of a
1.2
place of
billion
real
dollars,
life.
and we have had more than one conversation and where we've talked about
Your
relationship shit
lifestyle ain't the
and
only
we've talked about
reality.
money.
I don't know
It
why
ain't
this
it ain't
always
my
comes down
it
there.
ain't
Your
my
lifestyle ain't the only reality. There's multiple
what the
realities
fuck is
based off
y'all
how
in? Y'all
somebody
about to make me
lives.
turn up because I never said
We
shit
don't
about
we
my
don't really
motherfucking life.
care.
Turn down.
I never said shit about my lifestyle
We
or
don't we
me
don't care.
personally.
We don't
Relax.
care.
Vicky, you want the man to lose
You do care.
half his
We
income for
don't.
getting
We're
the
having a
hood?
Hold
conversation,
on, wait,
boss.
wait.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
Let's go to Torin
absolutely.
real quick, and then let's go to
Listen,
Paris
You're
and
not
then
a
nigga.
real
Shakur.
lover. You're not a real lover girl for real.
I
Go
I
ahead,
wanted
thought you was.
Torin.
Terrence to go to
Why are
All
you
her.
right.
Go
talking in
ahead,
that
So
Terrence.
voice,
yeah,
Rick? I don't know what's
Thought
happening.
you was a CLG.
Just cause you
every time I
YouTube
get,
may not agree with what I'm fucking saying, that don't mean I'm speaking from a me perspective, nigga. I'm talking in general. If a bitch
Okay.
dealing with a nigga with $1.2 billion, shut your dumb ass up. And if you choose to be there, you gonna be there. That's your choice.
So that means
That's
that if you
all.
marry someone who has more money than then you will do
This
the
ain't got
same.
shit to do with me.
Oh
Again,
my
nigga.
God.
All
Okay,
right,
got it.
honey.
all right,
All right.
all
Go
right.
Mm-hmm.
ahead,
So
Torin.
all right, so check it out. The, I agree with what the sister said earlier, though. There's a difference between two colleagues doing their thing in an office and somebody where there's a distinct power imbalance when you're the CEO and founder of a company messing with a subordinate. And to be honest with you, Rashad, the only time I've ever seen that really work, like in a professional level, as far as like that we all know about. You remember when um, the black dude from the ABC News was screwing that chick, the blonde chick, and he was doing their thing,
Oh
and
yeah.
they were colleagues. There wasn't any kind of power
He was
imbalance, so
slapping
there
that
was.
flat ass. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
TJ
yeah, yeah.
Holmes. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, that's
TJ
him.
TJ
Holmes.
But
Yep.
check
You
it.
Holmes.
ain't
Mm-hmm.
have
But
to
you know what
word it
though?
like that.
But real talk though. The one I always respected them for being straight up and saying they basically said, yeah, we screwing and we gonna screw when we get off air and stuff, and they ended up divorcing their partners and ended up getting together and they got a whole podcast and TV show. So I respect them for that. But one thing we have to be honest about, ironically, both of their partners married each other, so I don't know what kind of stuff they had happening. But
I needed a wife swap for sure.
yeah, something like that. But here go the thing. But here go the thing though. One thing that's not being said, and one thing that I don't know if people may not be familiar with this. But like other people have been saying, then why did he do that in the first place? What people don't really understand is that men and some women who are in those positions, whether they're CEOs, especially if they're self-made or they've had to build a company, or even athletes, part of the thrill of doing that shit it's all the scenario and everything that goes into cheating in the first place, which is really what they're chasing. They like the thrill of being able to cheat on their partner. They like the thrill of setting up scenarios where they can get their freak on and then going back home. It's not so much about the sex, even though the sex is a big part of it. It's everything that goes into it. They like to travel. They like to take this person and say, meet me here. I'm going to fly you to this place and we're going to do our thing and send you home. I'm going to set you up in an apartment and we're going to do our thing and you're going to be my private plaything. That's what's part of it too. And that's why it doesn't stop. It's not so much about the act. It's about everything that goes along with it. You know, just like football players love chasing that ball, just like baseball players love chasing, like hitting home runs. People who are CEOs love the art, the thrill of that deal. It's almost like a sexual thrill for them, and that shit is part of their personality. So that's part of it too. And that's for men and women. It's mostly men because men are the majority of CEOs, but women who are in those positions get down like that too. Trust.
Paradise P, what's the word? How you feeling today?
What, you ain't asked me how I was
My
feeling?
I
my
did when you came up here. I
I
did.
That nigga prejudiced today. I don't
I
know
do
what's
it.
I
up, man.
No, stop it. First of all, DB, I
all
said it
right.
to you and Rick.
Uh,
All right.
I'm
Y'all let
fucking
me
with
know
you.
when y'all finish.
Go ahead,
Hey,
Paris. What's the
Paris.
word?
Happy Friday.
Hey y'all, but no, your ability to ingest things in a completely different manner is quite interesting, Rashad.
It's a gift.
Uh, yeah, I agree,
Did you say
but
it's a
no.
gift? Yeah, you play too much.
No, he's not wrong. It's a gift. But no, I wasn't stating that in order to make cheating a valuable solution or to impose that that's the case. I do heavily disagree though with you and Jonay in saying that you can't deter your partner from cheating. It only takes one person to ruin a relationship. It takes two actively participating to make it successful. So yeah, that is their final decision to do something, but you heavily can impede on and influence your partner to do opposite. The other part of that is as far as like this goes, I think it was just more so from a roundabout standpoint of the ignorance that I was seeing on my timeline of people saying this is why you don't need to be fucking people in HR, this, that, and the third. Literally stats proved before the internet, before the actual revolution of the internet and technology that we know of as today, majority of people met their spouses at a job. Even now
Yep.
today, majority of people who work together as couples, they will sustain their relationship longer than people who have separate jobs. And even now today, past the internet, being at work is the second highest way of you meeting somebody, and the third way is via mutual friends. So you guys can be, and I'm not saying this to one person in general. I'm saying this to the masses like my tweet was. You can be ignorant if you want to be ignorant or think that these things do not matter or they play no effect or people don't build bridges, build responses like them teamwork, exercises, things you do at work. They're doing those things to build connections with you and those people for a reason. If many people took those exercises at work and they imposed them into their real relationship, you will see regular outside relationships be more successful. But the idea is when people like to get home, they want to turn everything positive off from work except for hammering down and being a boss. And it just simply don't work like that. People spend more time with their coworkers in general than they do with their own family members, including their children. And teachers tell y'all this all the time. I know your child better than you. But if you want to be ignorant, ignorance is bliss.
Go ahead, Shakur.
What's the word? What's the word?
What's the word? How you feeling today?
Feeling good, man. Happy Friday to everybody. I feel like
Hey, Lammy.
how you doing? How you doing? I feel like what Paris said is really valid, and when you really think about it, first off, like um, I met my child. We're two jobs together, so that's 10 years worth of relationship built off of meeting at work. But like when we was talking about like the complacency and how you treat your partner and what leads to this, like I want to build on that, right? So I don't think that is necessarily a thing about complacency. I also agree a lot about what Troy said, Torin said about like just the fact that nigga like you get the fantasy aspect of it too. You know what I mean? So it's the I see you every day aspect, and then it's the fantasy aspect. But let's just talk about partnership, right? Like I'm heavy on this. If you don't like her, I do. If you don't want to treat her right, I will. You know what I'm saying? Because the mismanagement of your woman, your partner, is an egregious offense on your behalf. You know what I'm saying? Man or woman. You know what I'm saying? But especially, well, shit, it's definitely it's even. Because I'm sure if a woman see a man being mismanaged or miscared for, it's like that's almost appalling. You get what I'm saying? So like, I remember my dad next door neighbor, like he used to come over, smoke with us and shit, and he was like, "Oh, like telling us about his wife. Well, no, telling us about the bitches he fucking, right? But I see his wife. You get what I'm saying? Every day. So it's just like he asking me, "Oh, young nigga, how would you have did this?" Well, old nigga, I wouldn't even have did that. You know what I'm saying? I'd have did it like this. You know what I'm saying? So, but then it becomes an opportunity to where his wife in my face and she on dick. So then it becomes a problem as it progresses to where like now he at my dad's house mad at me. And it's just like, bro, if you don't like her, I do. You talking
How?
about you
Hold on,
about to
wait. Let
divorce
me
this
ask.
woman.
Wait, what?
How does a coworker know
This nigga fucked his
that
boss,
your
bitch.
partner is mismanaging you?
Because you know these things. What do you mean? Like you
No,
can
what
work
I'm
in
saying is,
Communication.
why the
proximity.
hell is you
because
running your mouth to your coworkers at the job about what's going on in your house?
exactly.
Like, what the
Because
fuck is we
it's always a
doing?
wink link. It's always a wink link, Rashad. Even if you was a dog and you wanted to run down on one of your girl associates, family, whatever, it's always a wink link. So your girl
So you
sometimes is
saying you be
susceptible to
looking
be
for
a
the
wink
weak
link.
link?
No, I'm saying it exists.
No, I'm saying,
I'm not
but
saying I'm
it
looking
sounds
for it.
like
I'm
you
saying it's
revel
there.
in it. It sounds like you really enjoy that weak link.
He thrive in
No, no,
in
no.
that
It's
environment.
kind of like what my brother Torin said. It's a fantasy element to every like escapade you might find yourself going on, but
So you
there's a wink
thrive
link anyway.
fucking your boss, bitch.
Right. Like,
If I'm fucking my boss's bitch, I mean, there's a power dynamic in play. I'm not going to act like it's not there. You know what I'm
Can I
saying?
impose something really fast? And I'm
Sure.
not trying to be rude. I just want to add to the conversation. Um, I think that a lot of times we take that black shit of ain't nobody your friend at work and don't talk to these people in the context of that's what's really happening. I'm not that way. I enjoy all of my coworkers. I literally engage with them. I'm on several teams. I have been a part of several committees. I get out into our ERGs, which is like ethnicity groups, right? Like that help with different parts
How many
of
work husbands you got?
wait a minute. That help with different ethnic groups and things like that, and also get involved in the city. So when you guys are like talking about this and the idea that you just go to work and do your job, people who just go to work and do their job either have one or two things going on. They looking for another job and they're not just that social because they already don't want to be there, or it's a thing of where they already done got into some shit and they trying to stay their ass out of some shit. But most times that's not what's happening. Most people, they go to a job even if they don't intend on staying there and they engage. So I think that black people kind of pass that shit around like, ain't nobody your friend here, this, that, and the third. You're not going to talk to these people. And we see all the time where it's like, a 19-year-old woman talking about Miss Edna who been there 30 years and Miss Edna fucking 55 is one of her closest friends. It's just unrealistic.
What I would say to that is it doesn't have to be one or the other, right? For me, like I've
Exactly.
said it a lot of times, like people at my job don't know I rap. Like they don't know my social media, right? They don't know that, they know of my woman because I've taken her to functioning events, but we get in an argument. I ain't coming back in that motherfucker like, hey man, guess what she did last night? I think that there's a level of separation that is healthy in my opinion. It works for me that is
nah,
healthy
you right
and
about
where
that.
you don't have to
But is that
unpack everything from life onto your coworkers because you got niggas out here like Shakur. You feel me?
no? But is that respect reciprocated on every vertical, right? It's not
Oh, that be
just
whooping y'all
job.
ass.
It's job,
Uh-huh.
it's friend group, and I get that there's a level of transparency, like Paris said. And then if you flip it on his head, it's like, okay, while she may not come in with the intention to say anything, there's niggas like Shakur who be like, well, damn, bro, why you what's wrong with you?
You
Because it's
also have to
obvious.
look at the environment too, right? Some of y'all are not working in the office. Some of y'all are not working in environments that are super co-ed. I do work in a co-ed environment. And some of y'all are not working in environments that allow you to have integral interactions. But again, I do. We have team building exercises. We have icebreakers. Like we have tons of meetings. So it's like when you're working in certain environments, those things will tend to take place whether people want to accept it or not. And I mean, you can frown upon it, you can say what you want to say, but growing a relationship with people that you don't know happens in the workforce environment inevitably.
And in corporate America, oftentimes you lead with your relationship in some capacity. So if you're a married man, even in your interviews, you insert that. When you have these team building conversations you have, when you talk about yourself, there's no way you don't, unless you just hide or you don't
No,
care about
I don't.
business.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
that.
but
The
that's
thing is,
just, I
Johnny,
think y'all are blanket
I'm saying
statement
that
and
there's a
stuff
level
based off of
of
your experience.
like I know, like they know of my woman, they know of
Yeah,
my
having
kids
a
and
having
events,
a
and I'm a
spouse.
coach, but they don't know like the ups and downs and the intricate details of what we got going on. So there is
Exactly.
a situation where you can have those conversations and not get to a space in where it is personal. Now you do know things about their life. Now you do know because this
That's
started
more
with
common
Shakur.
amongst women to do than men. And
Thank you.
furthermore, you don't have an interest, and that's where I'm getting to, right? Like, so we can draw these
Could
parallels
I,
about
because my
the
hand has been up for a
dynamics,
little bit.
right? Like, so to that
Yeah,
point, like, right, Rashad, that's more common than women than men. But furthermore, when people are cheating, they're not actually having them conversations either because they don't want to have to
yeah.
go back and explain those things. They want to keep it where it's at anyways, especially in the workforce.
Go ahead, Jonay, and then Vicky. Vicky, you got your hand up, crazy girl. Go ahead, Jonay.
Yeah, I think what we're talking about, and again, as someone that has had experience various ways like we all have, right? It depends. There are some job and work cultures that require that, and there are some job and work cultures that don't. And just because you don't do it, don't equate to the if you're not doing it, it's this or that. That is based off the culture of that company because there are plenty of companies I work for where they don't give a damn, especially if you are at a certain level. You could just be a number and it's not that big of a deal. The only person that, like Rashad said, would need to know personal things is if it's good to know so that way you are, especially if, let's say you're in a more of a technical job. Like a lot of times you have water cooler conversation. Sometimes you will be able to network. But a lot of times it don't really matter, male or female. I've experienced both. I have been in a scenario and in work environment where they wouldn't promote you if they didn't know your business. But that's not a all encompassing thing. And I do think a lot of people have learned through negative scenarios. I remember working at this job. There was a guy that was very likable. He was a black dude and he was a little too open about his personal life. So much so he kind of became like the work player. Like he took a lot of girls on dates at our job and he took a lot of people and went out to bars with a lot of people after work. And so there was one scenario with one girl that went left. Everybody knew about it and they fired him because it just was he did too much. So I think it really is to me one of those things you can't blanket statement because we've probably all experienced it in a different way. And I think like what Rashad said, there's definitely a lot of places that are completely content with just knowing, oh, you're married or you're not, or okay, cool, very
You
dry,
can
cut and
though,
dry.
Jonay. You can blanket
I
statement it now, and I'm
no,
gonna say
well,
no.
okay.
Wait,
I'm just giving what I'm saying. That's not to
I
rebut. I'm giving my
no no.
experience.
I'm gonna rebut what you're saying. I
I don't
hear
have
what you're
to
saying, but it's
because
a
it's
conversation.
not to argue. It's what my
No,
experience is.
it's not. I wasn't trying to argue, but we're having a conversation, right? So, I'm simply saying that majority of times now in most organizations, especially after COVID, retention is key. A lot of organizations have had issues with that, especially with people not being in the office. So those team building exercises, and icebreakers, and orientations, majority of jobs have you go through orientation. Unless you're sitting there and you're going to a retail store, majority of these jobs, even down to fast food, you absolutely will have to have team building
No,
exercises.
you don't. I can tell you that right now.
Yes,
So
you
No, you
I'm
do
do.
not.
so let me just
I feel
add
I'm
like
this
telling you
real
right
quick.
now.
orientation
I
Hold
work
on.
at a
I feel
very large company, and I did not have an orientation because it's so large. that they cannot facilitate orientations for every new hire they have. So I get it, that's your experience, but that is not the case for every person.
So well, let me speak to
But I feel like the
Paris's
same.
point because
Jonelle
I
really
work
just
at a
missed that.
space.
No,
You
I
missed
didn't
the
miss
entire
anything. I'm
point. You
telling you the
literally missed the
point. No,
entire
I'm
point.
not.
That
You
Hold on,
stop
you
hold
just
on,
want to
hold on,
responding.
hold
argue.
on. So
Go
to
ahead,
Paris's
Rashad.
point, like before I was, working more at home now. I work only at home now. But we would meet in the city at a WeWorks place.
Mm-hmm.
And then we like quote unquote do work for about 3 hours, and then we'll
Mm-hmm.
find, I forgot what the putt shit that we went there, or we went to Atlantic Station and we go get some food and everything be on the company. And so building that, to Paris's point, those relationships, I can understand that. I think that when Rick was up here the first time we was having the conversation, people take those relationships and they start to overshare,
They
right?
do.
Because you can still be in those environments of niggas is getting drunk in that bitch. Like, no mistakes
Mm-hmm.
about it. They getting drunk, they eating food, they playing games and laughing and joking. Folks probably got their little secret relationships, I don't know. But, still, you don't have to overshare. I can still keep it very, very surface
Okay,
level.
so I agree with you. What I'm saying is I never said all jobs have orientation. My overall
I'm
arching
putting
point
my
is
hand down, Rashad.
all jobs
We gonna
have
get to you.
culture. And
I'm
my
putting it
point.
down. I'm
All
telling you.
jobs have culture. All jobs will have you interacting at some basic level with people you've never met before. That is not a significant thing to one person or another, especially if you do work from home. There will be connection pieces where you will have to interact with people you do not know across your company. That can't be disputed.
Go ahead, Vicky. And then we got Lavita, Torin, and Shakur.
I hear everything y'all are saying, and I just want y'all to know I don't give a hot damn. Do not take your goofy ass to anywhere. End up on the motherfucking jumbotron with your coworker, your subordinate. I hope she takes him for everything he has. Thank you so much.
500 mil down the drain.
Girl.
Donations. Go ahead, Lavita.
I will say to Paris's point, and actually honestly to Jonay's point, while being a director and traveling with the C-suite team and other director level of management, it a lot of times we would be put into situations where it was in a not professional environment while we are still acting in our professional roles, right? So what that would do is it is it's going to cause this kind of guard down moment. And a lot of times that was encouraged, especially when we were on the road. Oh, we're going to eat dinner together. We're going to go to lunch after we have this meeting with that team, or whatever the case is. And a lot of times you are, especially when you are in environments that are not professional, even though you're acting in your professional role, a lot of times what that does is allow people to put their guard down and create more levels of intimacy with one another, whether intended or not. And you will have people who overshare. But even beyond that, if you're working on a group project together and you're working siloed with specific groups of people, and you're having communication modes of checking in and et cetera, with very specific people, you then are going to develop a relationship with those people. However that team building or however that tends to happen, you are going to develop this relationship with these people that is probably going to go beyond what you and maybe subordinates or maybe even some other people who act in different roles in the organization may have. So to Vicky's point, she's gonna collect the bag. Like I just don't see any way around it.
So I got a question before Shakur and Torin, right? Because we've had these conversations multiple times, and we're outside of the workplace where we talk about having friends of the opposite sex while y'all are in a relationship. Because a lot of people are coming up in here and saying that it's damn near inevitable because you spend so much time with these people. And so when it comes to being in a relationship and spending time with somebody that you call your best friend or whatever, what have you, doesn't that kind of ring the same when niggas say, nah, I don't want you to do that? Or when women say, nah, I don't want you to do that? How can y'all separate it in the job standpoint and as far as personal relationship? It don't make no sense to me.
You can't. You cannot separate it, and then it just becomes. To answer your question shortly, is respect trumps all, right? So even what you're saying about yourself and your work relationships, you respect yourself and you respect your relationship to a standard to where you're not going to operate in a certain manner,
No,
right?
just don't
So
do the shit. Fuck off. Buddy didn't even have on a
exactly,
glasses, a hat, a clown nose, a fucking
and that just
nothing.
shows you how
Like,
how
brother,
niggas wild out
please.
in public. You know what I'm saying? That just shows you how much people, not just men, but that just shows you how much humans will wild out in public and risk it all for how they feel. You get what I'm saying? But like to speak with on what everybody's spoken about, I think that is what Paris is saying and what Jonay is saying and what Levita is saying. They're like giving you the symptoms or what's happening, but it's all human nature. It's not because of work orientation or team building that these things happen. It happens because of human nature. When you're attracted to somebody that's attracted to you, then it becomes this thing to where you're having lunch, right? That's on a blue collar sense. But then you're traveling, like what Lavita said, or then you're doing these orientations. You feel me? And you're working in close proximity. You get what I'm saying? And the human nature of it all is where people become susceptible to fall into these traps. And it's like what Torrance said earlier, the fantasy of it all of this shit just reverts back to human nature. So while it would be best practices, you would love for your significant other not to do that, but you would be foolish to think that it was impossible for it
No,
to
I
I
happen.
think
think, and
it's,
that's
I
what I'm
think it's
I
saying.
think
Like
that's a
very possible,
horrible
but
thing to
it's,
why,
stand
why
on.
when a nigga
but
say you don't need to have no male friends, y'all acting crazy?
No, no,
well,
Rashad, let me
no.
say very
That's a
clearly.
different point. Also, Rashad. But to what Shakir is saying, I'm not saying that things are justifiable or okay. I'm saying that the ignorance of these things don't happen. Like even when you talked about, oh, well, I don't come on here, I don't come and tell everybody what's going on in me and my relationship. What you're talking about is a personality, right? You're talking about your personality. You don't tend to overshare those personal things, and you're talking about oversharing in general. That's not a lot. Do you know how many times people come in spaces and want to tell us their business? Just voluntary. You get what I'm saying?
And do.
So imagine if that person gets somebody who they just happen to get a slight cool bond with. Like this person just gave them a quarter at the vending machine or something like that. They working the same job together. Oh, you started together. Where you staying? Da, da, da. Or when you talking about y'all doing icebreakers, they like, where you from? Oh, you from this place? Oh, you went to school here? And when you have situations like that, they on a team together or whatever the case may be, right? Those little small connection pieces is going to prompt an overshare, right? Like I can tell you from personal experience in my job, we segregate everybody down to 4 categories. So when I hear you talk, I can profile you in my mind if I actually choose to. I typically don't because y'all are just y'all, right? You're not my job. But for the most part, what Shakira is saying is human nature is going to impede into your work habits. Human nature is going to impede into your work culture. So regardless of what they have in place, they might have it set up to shit. You could be driving a fucking rig and the other person just moving boxes. Y'all may never actually have to interact with each other, but if one person has a very extroverted personality and the other person is a socialite, they're going to eventually find their way around each other.
So, Rashad, I wanted to say something to the point that you're saying. I think to believe that workplace inappropriate behavior is like you should just expect it to happen is giving out to behavior that is because you want to find an outlet. Let's just keep it a buck. And I think that's where a lot of these conversations become so like idealistic. Oh, we can't help it. We're here for 8 hours a day with one another. This is why when we just started and having conversations where black people say this is my job, and you put in that font, that deep line, and y'all gonna know what I want to tell you type stuff. No matter the function, no matter the icebreaker, no matter the happy hour, there are plenty of opportunities where people are working at their jobs 20 years and don't do nothing. There's plenty of times where they don't overshare. It is because a lot of people go to work looking for community. They go to work looking for an outlet. Their lives at home are boring and they go to work and build a completely separate life. So for example, there's a show, what's the name of the show? Oh my God, I freaking love this show. So, not what is it? It's a show that's on Apple TV where essentially you have a work you and a Severance. Thank
Severance.
you. I love that show. But Severance is an example of what it is. You have a work life and you have an at home life. So much so that in the show they put a chip in your head to where you have a Audi and an innie. The Audi has its own life, it's their own spouses or anything. Inside you have a completely separate life, and the two do not mix. Ben Stiller is the creator of the show, and so he's essentially highlighting how people have these things. And a lot of that is not just human nature, it is wanting community, it is wanting an outlet, it is oversharing, it is a lot of things, and you're investing. So then, this is why when people have been in certain corporate spaces or in places so long as Black people or others, that is why people, after they've seen these things happen so long, they tell you not to do that. Why? Because you do all that oversharing and all that building, and then you die and they replace you the next day. Or you get something that happened to you that you can't work, and then now you're replacing it. Like, there is more to it than just, oh, these are just the things you do, and then now you're doing what? I think that
Hmm.
is not just, that's why I'm saying it's not black and white, and some of that stuff is tricky, and that is why some people do, more often than not, I'm telling y'all, I've seen it. A lot of people do not overshare their business like that. They don't.
Okay,
They
so
especially the
Hold on,
higher
wait.
up you get, they do not.
Let Torin go, and then we got you, Shakur.
I'm glad the sister mentioned that show Succession because I think a lot. Oh,
Severance.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Severance.
Severance,
But
yeah.
Succession is good too.
Succession's a good one too, yeah.
But the reason I say that is because if you, I'm one of those people like when I find a show I like, I start digging into who did it. And if you look at some of the background of some of the people who write a lot of these shows set in corporate America, you'll find out a lot of them got experience in corporate America or they worked in that background. And some of the things may be heightened, but it's shit that they talking about. Like one of my favorite shows is Mad Men, like I said. And if you watch the first episode of Mad Men that came out, you see John Hamm, Don Draper, right? He's like the executive of this ad agency, right? The first 45 minutes of the show is basically showing him in the office. He goes to some chick that he's screwing like in Manhattan. They end up spending the whole day together. He gets an idea, goes back to the office, and then you see him driving home. And then he opens the door, opens his key. His kids are in there, and so is his wife. And if you didn't see the last 15 minutes, if you didn't see the last 15 minutes, you would have no idea that this dude was married with a wife and a family and stuff, with two kids. And that happens a lot in these situations, not to that degree, but a lot of times people keep that separation because number one, they either got stuff in the office that they're playing around with, or it becomes a thing where my private life is my private life, my professional life is my professional life. And I agree with Paris to a point when she talks about oversharing, because if we don't have any proof of nothing else, we know that we live in an oversharing culture. But there is a culture of people who don't really want everybody in their business because they know how the corporate world works. And if you really are trying to maneuver in a company, it's in your best interest to keep some shit private because you don't know where the snakes are in the business. And if you're in the business, there's snakes in there and you don't know who's going to be gathering what information to cut your throat with down the road and stuff. So I'm just saying that to say that while team building is a thing and while being a personable person in the office is a thing, there's also a lot to be said for shutting the fuck up and not giving everybody all your business. And some people have not learned that. And unfortunately, some people going to learn it the hard way. But back to the purpose of this conversation. Yeah, dude, both of them really did some dumbass shit. I mean, people go. We've already established that people are going to have office relationships. We've established the fact that some people are going to be unfaithful to their spouses. But when you are in that level of position and when you are that level of responsibility, that shows me that if you don't have enough wherewithal to be able to keep whatever you got going on the quiet, then how dependable are you with your company? And I don't know who said it earlier. It's deeper than just this one couple and this one man who's cheating and this one woman who's cheating. They be laughing at. We don't know how this is affecting that company's stock price. We don't know what kind of conversation they had with the shareholders. I guarantee you what was it? That was Wednesday, right? I guarantee you that Thursday morning conference meeting that happened at 6 in the morning was pure hell for everybody involved. That's when you start thinking about things like that, you have to look outside of your dick. You have to look outside of your sexual desire. You have to look at what your personal well-being is and what is the well-being of the company that you've been entrusted to. So it's going to be interesting to see what the fallout of this is going to be.
I
It's
think
bigger than
two
two people.
I think two different things are happening in this conversation though. We're talking about people who actually sleep with their coworkers, which is really the minority, right? Like as far as creating actual relationships and shit. It happens, but it's not the majority of the fucking office versus people oversharing. And that is the majority of everybody. right? Like that's something that even down to a damn person who works at McDonald's, they do overshare. They do tend to give people more insight into their life than they actually should do, not want to, but they actually give more people insight on their life more than they should do. And they do so, they exchange phone numbers. It don't matter if they never have no damn icebreaker till team building exercising. But people who sleep with each other versus people who are oversharing, I don't think those things need to be married, because you don't have to be an extrovert nor an oversharer to sleep with your coworker.
Go ahead, Shakur.
All right, so I feel like what Paris just said is true. The conversation is split, but like I feel like the grounding factor of the conversation is just human nature, right? No matter whether it's right or wrong, or whether the reason why they do it or not, it really just boils down to human nature, right? Cosmic attraction, right? So like people are not really like, they don't have a finger on what like really dictates like what happens in the world, right? So in space, there's gravity, right? That kind of dictates like your gravity pulls me in or pushes me out, right? That's space. So we are like celestial beings.
Oh no, I'm
I'm
not
getting
one of
that from
them. I
Telstar.
ain't one of them. Hold on. The
Yeah,
devil is a
where
Now,
we
liar.
at right now?
I'm a child of
just let me
God.
land.
You, you, you,
We
you,
all
you, you
have,
are.
we all have a certain level of
I
gravity,
believe in
right? That's what
Christ.
attraction is,
Hallelujah.
right? You have the ability
Look
to
at
pull and
Jehovah.
repel people, right?
Look.
So now let's speak about, so you
Hallelujah.
have the ability, any
The false
person,
prophet,
for
the
example,
false prophet
right?
will find a
Any
place in
person
the
on this
devil.
space has the ability to attract or repel somebody based. I've heard Paris say a lot of times, I wouldn't date none of you niggas. Why? Because their energy is repelling her, right? So with that being said, in any space, you have the ability to attract and repel, right? Now, what Rashad is talking about is the self-governance or the boundaries that you set for yourself. You have the ability to make your atmosphere inhabitable, meaning you have the ability to make it to where a motherfucker can't fuck you. He can't be your work husband. It's just impossible. Why? Because your self-governing system makes it to where that's not applicable to you. That's how Jonay represents herself. She's not going to allow herself to let a nigga's attraction level, like she spoke on the brother. Oh, he was very likable. What does that mean? That nigga was very whatever the fuck in her mind. You get what I'm saying? But the attractiveness was there. He was attractive. He had the ability to attract. But she had the ability to sustain her atmosphere, meaning she had the self-governing system to say,
Yeah,
nigga, I'm
I
not gonna
call it
fuck
the
you because
Holy
you look good.
Spirit. Yeah, yeah, I had that.
Hold on,
You
wait.
know,
Had the
things of
Holy
that
Ghost.
nature. I could have took it that way. I just went cosmic, but you know.
No,
Hold
no,
on.
no.
So
I'm keeping
I
on the
wanted to get
ground with the
to
Lord.
a space because Shakur did say something earlier about the interaction that he had with a friend and I guess his coworker and their wife. And so, once again, y'all know I don't want to talk about this person specifically. Okay. So that we know that. But there was a video about Mandy on the podcast, and Mandy was talking about growing up and dating more than one man that was married, right? And where she is now, as far as understanding her worth. She made it seem like she was the victim. But based off what Shakur said, are there, people out here, because I've never seen it, and where they targeting married folks to I don't know,
Oh, can I?
and what does that look like? Like, why would that happen? Because
All
when I
right,
seen
so
when I seen her video, it was just like, I don't know, people talk shit about her, but I think she's an attractive woman. And so in my head I was like, why the fuck would she do that instead of just getting somebody that's like of her own, right? And so, if y'all got some ideas about that, go ahead, Shakur. You seem like you live that life.
I feel like you don't target. I'm not out here like, well, damn, where the married women at? You know what I'm saying? You don't target anybody specifically, at least not myself, right? I find myself in the dating sphere of like, my range is like 25 to 65. That brings forth a question and a laugh, but like a
65?
left track. See, there we go. So what that
Listen,
means.
grandma ain't got
So
nothing for
That's
me.
a 40-year gap. Wait.
Grandma ain't got nothing for me.
65?
Hey,
He
boy, get
said
that
8 to 80,
AARP.
crippling crazy. I know that's right.
Go ahead and get that
so
Shakur,
AARP money,
you
brother.
know
I
you gotta
respect it.
explain that, Shakur. Now that you can't just drop that.
I,
You can't drop that on us, Shakur.
okay, so just for the spirit of transparency, like, we grew up, watching movies, Megan Good, Gabrielle Union. There was always women older than us as the depiction of beauty, right? And then on a just me level, it's just like, and to this point,
Oh, you
there's
keeping
a
the window open
level
for
of,
Angela Bassett. I see what you're doing. Yeah,
come on now.
I see. I
But
understand.
but like
Gotta
there's
leave the door.
there was a level of maturity expected, right? But then after high school, you kind of realize that we all adults and we all can suffer from different levels of immaturity or different levels of trauma, right? So to answer your question is like, you may find yourself with a woman that is separated and not divorce. You're gonna say you find yourself in several scenarios, and for the people who are like, especially these women, they're casting their net inside of an older like ecosystem. So in those worlds and those verticals, you run into those type of situations. And then on the woman's side, I'm sure there's, like, I used to tell the older ladies, like, okay, so the niggas that's your age, you get what I'm saying? The good niggas is married, right? And if they and if they married and out here, that mean they cheating, right? But then if they not married, then that means they're, for some way, shape, or form, they was not marryable. You get what I'm saying? And then the young niggas like Rashad and others, you feel me? They get into that bag, they standing on some type of structure. You get what I'm saying? Like, you paint the perfect picture and you see that may be a logical fallacy. There may be less truth to that statement than I'm offering, but I'm standing on these businesses, and I don't know, maybe I'm rambling, but
Yeah, you are a little
that's
bit,
kind of
Shakar,
what you
but I
find
understand your
yourself.
point.
That's where you find yourself at. These women are casting their net for niggas that are in situations that may or may not put them in a situation where they're not desirable. Why are they not dating niggas in their age range and niggas more in their desirability factor? Because maybe they want some maturity. They want something
It's
that
not even like necessarily like age. I just want to know, because she kind of boiled it down to like, she didn't know herself, she didn't know her value, her self worth. You
mhm.
know the shit that they be
Yeah.
saying.
Now, Rashad, can
But
I can
it's
I
like,
throw
is that
something at you
true?
though?
Go ahead.
Before there is a breaking news. I don't know if you saw that. Did you want to tackle that, or because I know you're talking about Mandy, I didn't want to interrupt your flow,
No, I
but
ain't seen that. What
it's
happened?
a Shannon Sharp's lawsuit has been dismissed.
Oh yeah, we gonna get to Shannon Sharp.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah,
Okay.
we gonna get
I
to
just wanted
Shannon
to,
Sharp.
I just put it in the jumbo whenever you're ready to read it.
Okay, appreciate that. But yeah, I did want to know, like, was that, I don't know, is that a self-esteem thing? Is that, being greedy? Because we do see,
Yeah.
obviously we seen it with old girl and Buddy at the concert, and where they know each other's marriage. So I just want to see how y'all felt about that
Yeah.
shit.
Women
Wait,
that
what do you
target
mean?
married people are crazy to me. I don't get it. I think it's stupid.
Wait, but both of these people are married.
No, but he was talking about Mandy saying that
Yeah, I'm
she
talking about,
targeted married men or having multiple married men. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, she dated multiple married men, and it seemed like it was a pattern, something that she was aware of. But she said that it came from a place of, lack of self-awareness.
But did she
That's cap.
target them? Did she
That's
say
cap.
target?
She didn't say target, but you know that you've dated multiple niggas that you know are married. I mean, what is
That's
that?
cap.
I get that sometimes it becomes learned behavior, but I,
I
I
don't.
think
I
that,
think y'all are making this way more extreme than what it has to be. People are self-serving,
yeah.
and a lot of times, women targeting or dealing with married men isn't predatory to you guys' situation at all. If a woman is consistently going after a man who's already taken, she specifically has set things in place that she wants that man to do. She's not willing to compete with other women in the field for a single man to do. Most married men have a set routine. They're on borrowed time. What you will find is they appease women because they have to get what they want out of the situation. So more times often than not, she already knows this man is broke in, and she doesn't have to do the required things or get emotionally attached. It literally has nothing to do with anything past being self-serving for all parties involved.
See, and I would rather that definition than the victim of, I didn't know myself, I didn't know my self-worth.
Exactly.
Now
That's
that I am
bullshit.
on this other, like, it really made it seem like you are going after men that are married as like, something that's the only thing that you could do. And
Once
so
you
that
start
was
dating
kind
a
of weird.
married man, that is an intentional decision. Simple. Like you're intentionally, whether or not you knew he was married to begin with, once you listen, that third phone call when he in the car and can't go in the house to talk to you, you should clearly know that he's
So
married.
my
Like
Some
and,
women
and
like
you're
to feel the chase.
choosy. Now
What
you're
if he just
choosing.
Some
unwinded in the car,
No,
Johnny?
no.
now
Duh.
you
but
choosing.
do
So
You
men
ain't
and
he'll never
women
see the inside.
value?
Some
But
women
do
like to thrill
women
of the chase
do?
just like men do. That's what
Yeah,
that
that
is.
And
too. That
But
sometimes
do
it's
too,
but
just
for
not
sure.
always that cut and dry. I think a lot of times we be like, remember how you are when you first meet somebody. Everybody's not as inquisitive. Everybody don't ask all these fucking questions. Some people just want what they want. And when you start actually looking at it like that, think about all the men you deal with where it's like, well, he didn't tell you a lie. He just didn't tell you he had 3 baby mamas either. Because most times you're just enjoying that person, you enjoying that vibe. That's why I'm like, many of these conversations we can't over intellectualize. When you're talking about a woman and she's consistently dealing with just married men, she know her place, but she also knows what she's about to achieve out of this situation. That's not a woman trying to settle down, and that's also not a woman trying to ruin nobody's household because she
Yes,
only
that
want to
is.
deal with married men.
what?
but
See,
Shit.
I,
Paris,
I
you
my
wildin' for
No,
question
it's
is
that.
no,
You
like
no,
had
no,
me,
no, no.
Paris.
You
do
See,
wildin'
men
no.
there.
You
Now
See,
you
had
I
me. You
think
wildin'.
lost me.
no. I think
do
when y'all
Now you
hear
wildin'.
Hold
no,
on, wait. Let us
I
say. Hold on,
think
wait.
what I'm saying is, Jonay, right? We know the oh, first of all, it's only 2 people in their relationship. She don't owe nobody nothing. You could be mad at how you all you want, regardless of what that woman knows. It's 2 people who committed. That man owe that woman he married a commitment. But if you're talking about a person who has repetitious behavior, like the cat stacks, like the Selena Powers, those people who have a specific type of deviant behavior, like a fucking not Kim Kardashian, a Black China, when they're only engaging with these men for one specific reason, their reasoning matters more to them than the men's reasoning. They're just willing to play ball. So no, her intention ain't to be the bitch who gonna call your wife up and tell her how she fucking you and spending your money. That's not that woman's intention. That's that other woman who didn't know you was married and she done fell in love with you and she wasn't trying to. But a woman who consistently doing these things, she only wants what she wants. Ruining your household and taking you away from your wife is not her motive. That
But
is
that
not
is what
her
she's
intention.
it,
doing. It may not be your
No, it's
intention, but
not.
it is
but
your
That's not her
action.
motive. That is
But
not
but it
her
her
becomes
motive.
the
action is
thing of
Motive
breaking up
Hold on,
a
let the
matters.
people talk. Let the
household.
women go real quick.
What she's
Motive
having
matters.
right
Motive matters.
motive matters to a certain degree. Motive does not carry all. Because, for example, if my intention was to shoot a gun up in the air, but then the bullet hits you and I kill you, my motive doesn't mean that I'm not going to jail. You're still guilty of shooting somebody.
That's
So,
not the
so
same thing when you're
no, but
talking
no.
about
Well, let me finish
mitigating
what I'm saying.
relationships.
Let me say what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're talking motive. That's why I use the example, right? So saying motive matters, yes. However, somebody that is actively, we're not talking about, oh, I dated a guy and he ended up married, that now that means no. This girl said she actively chose married men. You saying the word married knows that this person is in a committed relationship with someone else, meaning that there is a high probability that you inserting yourself in that situation is going to have detriment to someone else's relationship. Simple. That
No.
there is
And
no
I'm
way
gonna
to
tell you why.
absolve
Because
yourself.
if
No. Well, let me finish, Paris, because you like your runway. Let me have mine. It does not absolve somebody of the reaction or the results of what you did, no matter your motive. It still happened. Is my point. I get
in
your
that point,
point, but I'm just saying that's why I think
and that
we're
point that
missing it.
I can agree with, right? You're
Mm-hmm.
not absolved from your issues, but I'm saying the delineation of that
Yep.
relationship has nothing to do with that woman who is single and doing what she want to do. It's only one person who actually made that commitment. So y'all can shame women for that all you want, but you'll never ever ever hear parents on the trope of, "Hey, this woman is wrong for this, that, and the third." No, that's not something she could have effectively done without his willing participation because he's
Right,
the
but she's
person in their
actively
relationship.
choosing married
The,
men. That's the
and
point. We're not
she's
talking about a
actively
one-off.
and guess what? That married man once formed with
Yes, and there's two people that
that
are wrong.
one formed. I no, she's not. Once formed with temptation, right? There's only one person that could be held to that oath that they took under God. So regardless of how y'all want to phrase it, right? You could talk. This is a moral argument. So we'll never see eye to eye because I've always been a support whatever the fuck a single woman want to do from down to the bottom. Like I've always been that way. I'm never gonna change. So a person, what I'm saying in this particular situation, it's a huge
huge difference between a woman who's saying, these are the only type of men I date, because you can trust she got a specific behavior in regards to that. Most times, even women who are dating married men unintentionally, their intentions ain't to ruin what he got going on with another woman. It's to make sure she get what the fuck she want. Majority of women enter our relationships to get what we want. We don't be giving a fuck about these other bitches for real. If you really want to put it on the floor.
Right. When that's completely fine, but I'm never gonna argue on the side of degeneracy ever. Y'all gotta have some higher moral
The
standards. And
degenerate
I
was
and
the
I and I'm
husband.
and I'm gonna be very clear that when a woman has a alternative lifestyle of doing, stealing, taking, being with another person's partner is some degenerate ass behavior. And I don't care what you think you can get off him that you can't get off a single man. That's a little iffy to me. So I get it. Clearly, we want to fight for single women rights. But I'm telling you right now,
No,
you
that's
have a
not what I'm fighting for.
pattern. If you have a pattern of, now I'm not talking about a one off. That's what I'm saying. If it was a one off, cool. If you said, damn, I ended up with a married man, I didn't know he kind of did it out. Woo, woo, woo. I'm not going to sit there and put this target or blame on you because that shit do be happening. But this girl says she has had a pattern of dating married men, which means that there was clearly a decision. So when you have an intentional decision to deal with someone that is already someone else's, you are choosing to become a issue in that scenario. To Terrain's part, you literally have a chase mentality because you want something that is not yours. So you are going into it with this weird, non-moral, nonsensical, morally obtuse situation. And now look at you. So yeah, you're absolutely wrong. You may not be wrong in that situation in terms of your vows, but you're dead ass wrong. And we can fight for our rights to party all we want, but I'm telling you what the shit is y'all. And the Mandys of the world, bitch, just listen. You better make sure that don't happen to you.
I don't think she care though. Like
Yes,
that's
she
what I'm
do,
saying.
because she
Like
in a
it's
relationship where she getting cheated
this.
on and be crying about it. So she do.
Well, I'm saying from the perspective of right, like we can argue all day the dynamics of women's level of care, this, that, and the
Right.
third. But I'm more so saying to the whole contingency for me, Jonay, like. And a
Mm-hmm.
person has a pattern of behavior, the idea that these things go one way is where I'm just drawing the hard line.
Got you.
Like, we
Mm-hmm.
always try to mitigate things to being, oh, this is a self-esteem issue, or this is because this person don't love
Right,
themselves.
right.
It's
I get
like,
that
no,
point. Yeah, I get that point.
I don't believe that. The way she's maneuvering,
You went out,
I
Paris.
think we lost you, Paris.
We lost a good one today.
Vicky.
Yeah, I did
We
think that
lost you,
that was
P.
kind of weird because it's just like the weird narrative and the rhetoric of just like how life just happens to people and they don't play a part. That I think that that's what she was giving off. Mandy is who Mandy is. And I think the people who know they know. But it just was like really like hands off. Like, oh my god, like it was just me
You're a
being young
victim,
and
girl,
not
please.
knowing what I was supposed to be. It's like that these folks is
But
married.
and that's what I'm saying. Like, if you, okay, let's be very clear. There have been women that went into scenarios just like how Paris explained it. Women that have gotten into situations intentionally, like, hey, listen, I'm just here for a good time, not a long time. I don't know if he married with somebody or not. I'm just enjoying the vibes. That happens where it's like a casualness of relationship to where you don't ask too many questions. I know that happens, right? So I'm not going to say it's not a thing, but to the Mandys, and I think you can attest to this as well, Rashad. You hear a lot of narrative from women like her where once it's her turn to be in the relationship, it's the, why can't I find a good guy? They're
Yep.
all this, they're all that, they're the cheaters. But then you attribute it to the culture that you are victim of. Again, I've said this, I posted and I'll say it over and over again because that's really what I'm dying on this for the rest of the year. Victims of circumstances you create are no victims at all. You cannot be mad about circumstances that you invest in and then be mad at the outcome that you didn't care about in the beginning.
I
That
get
don't
what
make
you're
no sense
saying.
to me.
That's where me and you, like, I don't know anything about me. I know of Mandy. I don't know anything about her,
Yeah,
but
I've
I
just seen
get why
some of
you
her
taking.
pods. That's all.
I get why you taking the position you taking, because I'm saying from a general aspect, we always try to categorize these things as being like, to be honest with you, I never go into a situation thinking about another woman and what she gonna do when I'm dealing with a man. And I know that a lot of times women don't give a fuck either. And we know that by how we're attacked versus the man. So in a general sense, no, that shit has nothing to do with, oh my gosh, this woman, she just was so tricked, this, that, and the third. No, she knew, something told her, she had some level of inclination. She did not care. She wanted what she wanted. That man was fulfilling that need. Now, whether she gonna be honest about it and take accountability, that's a different conversation. But we hear it all the time. So even in the situation of her dealing with a man who's in a relationship or he's actually married, it never actually is because this woman is just so naive and gullible and she just was dealing with this man. She didn't know anything about him. No. She knew something. She did her research. She heard something. She got in proximity to him and she wanted what she wanted and she stayed to get what she wanted.
Let me read this tweet before we go to Torin.
For sure, for sure.
Of OTBG. He said the only person responsible or wrong for someone cheating is the person cheating. The person who is being used to cheat is never at fault. They don't owe nobody anything. That person shouldn't have cheated. I can't disagree more. I'm not gonna lie. Especially if you know. If you know and you
Yeah,
still
knowledge is
participate in that shit,
power. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not blaming somebody that is unaware. We're talking about someone, and I think that's why I keep doubling down. I'm not blaming somebody that is unaware that they're dating somebody. I think you should up your discernment now. Cause again, if he's talking to you in a car every night and you don't hear from him past 8 o'clock, clearly the man is living with a woman. But either way, or he in a halfway house. So my thing is, yes, and that's why I don't want to get my point misconstrued. I'm not saying that no matter what the other woman or the other person as the cheatee is in the wrong, but when you are making an active decision, which is what Rashad said, Mandy said, she said she was actively dating married men, plural. You in the wrong because you're actively making this choice. You're going after that.
Go
But
ahead,
that's why
Torin.
I say, like, even I'm sorry, I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna get out the car real fast. But even with that, Jonay, like, no, if you listen to real married couples, all that communication don't be happening. You let these women tell they married single women. A nigga come in the house and go straight to the den, ain't talking to nobody. So no, niggas
Child.
is
Now
not
you right
Cause
about
I've
that
talking.
been
now.
tired.
No,
You
but
right about that,
I'm just
Paris.
saying, we love to try to make this shit one way. No, if you listen to these women talking, these men have a lot of spare time because these women care more
Hmm.
about what's going on with them and prioritizing children and friends over their relationship. So yeah, it's
Hmm.
easy for me to get to talking to a man who I work with, and it's easy for him to talk to me at home and it's a casual conversation where he's sitting on the back patio and he ain't got to get off the phone. He ain't going to bed at no 12 o'clock. He ain't just having to do all these extracurriculars. No, these women get the opportunity to build a relationship while that man in a relationship, because you have a
Yeah.
lot of women isolating while they're currently in a relationship, and we the first ones hollering, oh, I left months ago. I already mentally left the relationship. So if she done mentally checked out, what the fuck you think he doing? He
That's
ain't sitting in
true.
the car hiding. He ain't gotta hide. He got time to himself.
That
Damn,
is true.
Paris, you brought me back over, girl. You do it every time.
That is true,
You
Paris.
do it every time, Paris. Go ahead, Torin, and then we got Jig.
All right, man. You know what though? Really, what people do, and we just got to be honest about, like the brother said, human nature. Most people in these situations start with their sexual desire and what they want, and then they try to work backwards to try to intellectualize and try to rationalize what they're doing and shit. Because we live in a society where people just don't say, "Hey, I wanted to fuck that day, and this is who was there, and this is what we did." People do it all the time, and people do it in the workplace. People do it in domestic situations. People do this stuff every time you go outside. Probably some of your neighbors got some shit going on right now that we don't know about. The thing of it is that because we don't communicate with each other, like Paris said, and it's one thing that I agree with her on because I have seen this shit play out. People get dissatisfied in relationships or they get busy, and then this wall starts building up between the people. Sometimes it's a hostile wall, sometimes it's a wall of indifference. And then you got two people sitting in the house who are basically roommates that don't talk to each other. They're not really concerned about each other. And now you take that, and that's in regular people. Now extrapolate that to when you're a business owner And damn near 98 to 100% of your time, energy, and effort
Hmm.
has to go towards building that business or keeping that business afloat and keeping it going. Even if you're a billionaire, if you're a billionaire, it's even more stressful because you got shareholders to answer to. You got employees you got to motivate. You got people who are on your team who you got to be sure, you got to always make sure that you are in control of everything. It's a lot of stress in those situations. And when you're in situations like that, any little bit of relief you get, you're going to take. That doesn't, I'm not making excuses for it. I'm just saying it's like when people who are like that, who are type A personalities, they are always on, whether it's in business, whether it's in the bedroom, whether when they play. If you hang out with these people, you'll see they go hard in the bed, in the boardroom. When they go out and play golf or when they go out and play ball, basketball or whatever, they're aggressive there. And when they go out and try to date or when they're in conferences, they're trying to fuck that night. And sometimes it don't matter who's around, they're trying to hit who they can hit. And then the situation becomes a situation where you get right now. Now, like I said before, this particular situation, and I'm just using this as an example. That situation with dude, what he fucked up at, aside from the cheating itself, because we make it that a baseline is wrong to cheat. Where he screwed up at is when you get to the point where you get complacent and you get lax, or you get to the point where because he's a billionaire, you think you're untouchable and ain't nothing gonna find you. When you get to a situation like that, you start getting slack, and then you start doing shit like hugging up on somebody in the middle of a damn jumbotron in a skybox. And I'm just saying these things happen all the time because people want to do what they want to do, and everything else that comes after that is people trying to rationalize and try to make excuses for it when it really comes down to the fact that instead of being honest about what you want and what your desires are, especially if you have a partner, because I'll guarantee you, if he probably would have sat down with her if they haven't already and said, this is what I want, this is what I want to do, she would have made it some concessions for that, especially by the fact that he's a billionaire. You see what I'm saying? People just don't talk to each other, and then you end up in situations like this when you got two strangers doing two different things in the
No,
same
I
house.
think that's something that we think matters. But if he's a billionaire already and his wife was with him when he started up that company, she don't give a fuck about him being a
I say
billionaire.
that
She
all the
care about
time.
her husband. So, and we seen it with Kim Kardashian. That shit we make emphasis on because we're not there. A relationship is still a fucking relationship, and it'd be more nuance to it than we want to highlight. Because when if it were really just as black and white, people would get into relationships very simple and they would end them very simple. It wouldn't be a lot of pivoting. It wouldn't be a lot of revolving door. It wouldn't be a lot of nuance saying, well,
No, but
you must don't love yourself and this, that, and the third. But I said that to say this, right? Like,
let
I'm
me finish
not
my point
disagreeing.
though. Let me
Oh,
finish my
okay.
point. What I'm saying is this. What you're saying is right, but again, what we're talking about is things that are
I just
on.
thought you was finished. It was an Obama pause.
No, no, no. You got to listen for it to understand. But I respect that though. But here's the thing. The point of it is when you are in a situations like that, depending on where you are in your station in life, some of these things are true and some of these things are different. I don't know if you were here when I spoke about it earlier, but when you are in a situation like this dude and this woman are, there are a lot of social variables and a lot of social things to tie into marriage and tie into weddings and tie into who your connections are that are different than just saying, I'm sick of you and I'm sick of you and I need to split. A lot of times, even outside of the money, there's a lot of social things that are beyond that money that you have to be very, very discerning about, even with who you deal with. If you start putting that into factors, that's why a lot of these divorces on that level be taking 10, 15, 20 years to go through because they got all that other shit going on with it because there's business involved, there's social connections involved and all this other stuff. So I just wanted to make that clear. I'm done
No,
now.
and I agree with that point, but I was saying that to say this, like to finish out the point, right? Like relationships have a lot of nuance, right? It's not as black as white as like we always make it seem. Could a conversation possibly have fixed that and stopped that from happening? Yes, but we really don't know. At this point in his career, he's probably doing all of his traveling without his wife. He probably doing all of his business in regards to his actual company, nowhere near where he actually resides at. I know for me personally, my director, just my director, she's in the building. Her husband stay in a whole nother city. She travels 4 hours every weekend. So it's a lot of nuance that go into relationships where we think that because of our accessibility to people, everybody else operates this way. No, people have military jobs. People work on oil rigs. Some of them are very segregated from their spouses due to whatever reason. And because of that, they have to work 3 times, 4 times as harder to keep their relationship together. But the little shit that we be dealing with, all of that shit still surface up. You can't handle a compounded problem in one conversation. And I know it sound good, but no, you cannot. That shit take time. It take work. It don't take one person to end a relationship. It take two to make it successful.
Well, let me
Yeah,
read
plus
this.
this
Hold on,
dude
real quick, Torn, because we got to get the jig. Let me read this.
got it.
Let me read this from Audra. She said the biggest part of our biggest issues involve everyone feeling like they don't quote unquote owe anyone shit. I don't owe him and her loyalty. We want community, but continue to move selfishly. I think that's a good point. But go ahead, jig. What's the word? How you feeling today?
I'm living good, man. Living good, dog. Good to see y'all doing your thing. Yeah, so I saw the topic and let's just be real about this, right? Cause even with what that young lady said, I think everybody can find, these nuanced situations, these subjective situations and all of this. But when it comes to morality, I think we all need to start being real with ourselves, right? There is no way to intellectualize cheating, right? It's just, it's a coward move, no matter how you put it. It's low down and disrespectful, right? And that's just what it is. I don't care what the reason was, right? It's a basic principle of you made a vow to somebody about something and you broke it, right? You made a commitment and you went against that. It's simple as that. Whether it's just a dating relationship, whether it's marriage, whatever it is, right? Whatever type of marriage you have, right? If you say, hey, me and you are going to engage with each other in this aspect, in this arena, or whatever facet, and then you decide for some reason to change the terms of that without having the respect for that other person after you made that commitment, you made that agreement, it's just low down, right? And, people can say, hey, things change and all this stuff. But also that's part of the commitment you're making, saying, hey, if things change, then we need to go back to the table and say, okay, is there a way to still make this work or is there not, right? The problem is people be wanting to have one foot in, one foot out and saying, I don't want to lose this situation or I don't want to face the consequences of my actions, but I also do want to go forward and move forward and get, these new privileges, get access to new things and all of this stuff. And that's just where it kind of stems from. And I think, I can't respect the value of that on any level just because it's not. I get that it's not always, hey, easy to do, or right, but that's the whole point, right? If it was always just doing the easy thing, then you wouldn't be in a relationship. And people need to just understand, like when you're getting into these situations and you're making commitments, then that's a verbal contract of honor between you and that other person.
I don't understand like the time, the energy and effort that you would put into somebody else. Why won't you reinvest that into your relationship? Right? The little cute text messages or the pictures or the jokes or the trips or the dates or the gifts. If you put that back into your relationship, I would think that that would help you get out of the space that y'all in. I don't
But that's a brash assumption because who's to say those things stopped? And Betty Wright said it a lot of times in her goddamn song. Sometimes when a man bringing you flowers and candies, it's to tell you maybe we just should be friends, right? A lot of times y'all have these assumptions that things are, bro, a married man is doing everything he can to make sure he don't get caught. I promise you that. He wants to ensure his household is good. They overthink it. They overthink it so much. The idea that this shit stopped or it just came out the blue. No, it didn't. Even when he's actually rationalizing in his mind, am I finna go do this? He starts getting a little bit more invested into his relationship to change his mind. It never goes the way y'all think it's just, oh, well, we just stopped talking one day. No, that's a compounded problem. It don't
Especially a
come out
wealthy man.
up out the blue. No, that's just men in general. I'm telling you as a woman who deal with men. Even down to a fucking relationship. You see it all the time. A nigga be right there on the goddamn trip with his woman prepping to hit his side bitch up as soon as he land. And he right there paying for everything, smiling in the pictures. They, love my life. He done made an IG post. It never stops, bro. Men operate in duality too. It's never, hey, we got to a bad start and he just started acting different. Nope. He's still at them games. He's still investing into
Mm.
his family.
I wish
He's
you was
still
up
doing
here
all of
earlier,
this.
Paris, when they said that it was only the woman's fault. That's what they were saying earlier.
No, I do
No, I'm
agree.
not saying fault, right? I'm not
No,
saying
I'm not saying
fault.
you are. I'm
I'm
saying the
saying
men
like
earlier were saying the only reason is because of a delinquency with the woman. And what you're saying is there is duality, which I agree completely. There could be
Yeah, and I
absolute
just don't
issues
want
in a
it.
relationship and there could be your power of choice. It could be both
And I
happening at the
just don't
same
want
damn
it to
time.
be lost. I don't want it to be lost because we deal with men. So we get to see this. I don't want it to be lost that the nigga is only showering and catering to a side bitch. No, you don't know what that woman need from him. Some of these women not broke. Some of these women just want some dick. You don't know why that woman want to talk to him. It's always the assumption she's this destitute woman who can't get a man of her own. That's just simply not the truth. We date these men. We know how they mitigate amongst us. We talk to these men. They try us. And I'm telling you, it's never like that. Sometimes when y'all see these women and they going viral, they talk about, oh, the married man DM me. Shep, the fucking white boy Shep, perfect example. That man is happily fucking married. Building his business, his brand. He was just trying to, see what it was. He wasn't trying to
Just
break
trying
up
to
his
feed her,
home.
give
He
her some
wasn't
good
trying to do
food.
none of that. He was, but Jiggy, I'm not lying.
Yeah,
Like, we
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
stop thinking that, oh my gosh, they got problems. Well,
Yeah, because it's
no,
not
they
always the
probably don't
case.
have no problem.
And I think people need to understand part of the conversation with this is you start to see like, fault and blame are two different things that people like to throw around with this or sometimes conflate. And it's like, okay, like whose fault is it, right? It's always going to be your fault as the person that makes the commitment to that other person when cheating happens, right? But that doesn't mean that aren't other factors that, you can blame for what happened, right? And that's what you see people do. Sometimes they'll say, well, she knew that, he was married. Okay, so you can blame her, but the fault still falls on him because he made the commitment and he's the one that's deciding to step out, right? Like I always used to say, like, you can't break a home that somebody don't let you into, right? Like it's just a simple rule. Like you can try to want whatever you want, you can, offer whatever you offer, seduce whatever you seduce, but unless that person decides to let you in, right, you can't create a breaking home. Like no other way.
You ain't seen no man be a protector until he protecting the woman he cheating on. He'll hurt anybody's feelings when it's discovered that they trying to challenge the fact that he cheating on her. You ain't seen no man do it. I have had that experience. I've had a man
Wake it
tell
up.
me, like, him and this woman just going together. Just going together. Living together. Just going together. And he trying to tell me I'm being messy because I found out he was in a relationship. No, you just got caught and you know I wasn't going for that. So it's never like these situations where y'all are just trying to blanket it to make it seem as these women just, oh, they're just making themselves available or they're entertaining these men or she knew what she wanted. No. Sometimes niggas just greedy. And sometimes they don't stop doing what they supposed to do at home. That man ain't finna stop paying no bills because he got some new pussy. No bills still gonna be paid on time. If it's an anniversary, he still got them reservations. And y'all say it all the time. Y'all know what February 15th is. So what makes you think he stopped doing what he was supposed to do? He did it.
Y'all are, I don't know. I still, because earlier on I did believe that a lot of men out here just cheat because they just want bitches, right? I don't think like the majority of the time it's something that's going crazy at the house. I was just speaking on the aspect of cheating from Buddy, our good friend Andy Byron, and their household dynamic as far as
Yeah.
already being in a relationship. But I do
Yeah.
agree that the majority of niggas who be cheating, they just want the hoes. I ain't gonna lie. It don't be
Yeah.
this real like convoluted
Oh, I've
situation.
tried so many times and I'm not,
Yeah, it don't be
it's
that.
so troublesome in the household. And that's kind of what I was saying a bit earlier,
You just feel the
Rashad.
extra.
Some of that stuff is true, right? Some, but let's be very clear. That duality of relationship, like we said, there's two people in this. The person complaining, I would love to see your track record. But the other person that is the non-cheater already has accounted for the things that you're not doing well, and they are trying their best to be as committed to this as possible, because then all it does is make it seem as if you're the victim. And it's like now we're not talking abuse. We're not talking the extreme scenarios, right? But something like a communication gap, something like sex, something like money. Like these are things like, all right, what are you contributing to this negatively? If it's all one sided, then I gotta say, okay, well, like kind of what we were talking about yesterday, where was your discernment and who you married first? If this is just the type of character this person is exhibiting, it's just not black and white where it's just all one sided. I just don't agree with that.
And
Speaking of black and white, one sided, My dog Shay Shay free, man. Fist in the air for
I
Shay
don't know
Shay,
about free.
man.
I don't know about free,
Come
dog.
on, he
It's
beat
his
the
reputation
No,
case.
is
he ain't beat
tainted.
nothing. You
It's
see what
He
I
tainted.
beat the
posted?
case.
That man
My
cut the
nigga
check.
Shay Shay.
He cut the check.
Oh,
No, but what the positive part of it is, Jiggy, he did get off with them agreeing mutually that it was consensual, which was a very
No,
pivotal point.
they
But
agreed
his
to get rid
reputation
of
is
it with
tainted.
prejudice. That's the best thing that he got was they won't come back and spin the block on him. That's the only thing he got.
That's true too.
Because other
No,
than
no,
that,
no. No, no,
listen,
no. It being put out there that it was consensual sex was definitely necessary because she was saying he was taking advantage of her, and when she posted them videos of that audio, it was, oh yeah, you do want this, you do want me to do this. So that consensual part absolutely matters.
right, but
yeah.
the part that they were gonna get him on is the tumultuous part that Busby's speaking on. Because they did have him on some of the shit that he was saying with the choking and I'm gonna hurt you and all of that. You ain't getting off on that, bro. Especially if they letting you get off without going to court. He did the smart thing, which is fuck it, right? At this point, cut the fucking check before more of your like personal life becomes public and you get tarnished beyond to the point where you can't have any of your businesses. Cause she slowed up a lot of shit for him.
Niggas can't take
Hold on,
bitches to the
wait.
bedroom
Let
no
me just
more.
read. Let me read the joint that Tony Busby put out.
Would you like
Yeah,
me to read
I
it,
put it in the
Rashad?
Go
jumbo.
ahead.
Cause yeah, it's a little
Nah.
Jane Doe, Jane Doe versus Shannon Sharp. On April 20th, 2025, the Busby law firm filed a complaint in Nevada making several allegations against Shannon Sharp on behalf of our client. Both sides acknowledge a long-term consensual and tumultuous relationship. After protracted and respectful negotiations, I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutually agreed upon resolution. All matters have now been addressed satisfactorily, and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice. So,
Mm.
nothing's gonna come after this.
Yeah, but
At least this
satisfactorily,
specific
ooh,
one.
I want to see that bank
Yeah,
account, man.
it's dismissed. It is dismissed with prejudice.
Mm.
So there's no more legalities. But to Jiggy's point, listen. He broke a bag for
He
sure.
broke bread.
You know
He
what's the
broke a
He broke
nasty
bag.
the
part
bag,
though?
okay?
You know what the nastiest part is? She said that Shannon R-worded her, right?
Yep.
That's why I said that part
Twice.
mattered with that consensual part
Nasty
coming
that
out.
what see what money make the hoes do? Nasty that that's going away and now it's
But
consensual all of a sudden.
this won't push Tony Busby any bigger. It's just
Well, he
all
needed
that
a
ended up
win.
happening
He
is,
needed a win
And
but
bad.
that
Rashad, but
he did need a win. But what I'm
yeah.
saying is all that ended up happening. Shannon got a good lesson in what happened with Diddy. He didn't want that to be his story.
Hmm.
So before all this shit came out, he just got smart and got his ass out the way.
Yep, that's what it was. I'm
I
gonna be
think
real.
what Diddy went wrong with settling. I don't listen.
Yeah, yeah,
I ain't
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
lie. Settling, now did he
Listen,
have to
Yeah.
pay? I think
if
he
she
had to.
sued Diddy for abuse, it would be way worse than what it is now. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
I think that with Shannon, he had to pay if he wanted to expedite this process. This shit was hanging over his head like a goddamn black cloud. He probably still want to get back into mass media outside of his podcast and what he do with Chad at night. So clearing this up is a good thing. But I mean, it's just very, very odd that it goes from sexual assault multiple times to this was just a crazy consensual relationship that was just toxic. Like there should be something against that. Like she just
But
came
you
on
know
the
that's the
internet
deals.
and said the
That's part of the
nastiest
deal,
things
bro.
about this nigga. Like
That's part of the deal is that, look, if he signs the check, right, they have to say it was consensual. That's what happened. You know, when these statements come out, it's been negotiated with both parties, right? Where it's like, all right, you're going to get what you want out of this, but I at least want some of my reputation back. So I need you to at least say certain things. And, and as long as it teeters the line, right? That's why when you read it, it says, okay, this was a consensual, but tumultuous, right? So it's like she's not gonna back down on that. Hey, some shit did go down, but at least to help him out for signing the check, she's gonna say, hey, it was consensual, the relationship, right? So it's like you get what you pay
Right, because
for.
her sentiments are he took advantage of me. Her sentiments are he's a big strong man with power, money, dominance, this, that, and the third, right? Like there is no way he could put her little ass in a room and if he hit her or did something to her, motherfuckers would automatically assume that's not exactly what happened. So anytime they have these settlements, that's why I always say cutting that check don't make the shit go away. It don't. make it not guilty or nothing like that. That just simply means I agree on this part, you agree on this part, and we willing to. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. We gonna let this go.
Right. Don't go to court. That's all it is.
Fresh, what's the
This,
word? How you feeling?
yeah, this definitely, first of all, it's a lesson for goddamn, Shannon Sharp. But anyway, it's an age old lesson that I don't understand how these dudes keep slipping and falling for it. One. Two, this is a win for him though, because that legal language is absolutely, is going to be absolutely paramount when we talk about him negotiating things, because that hanging over his head that he R worded her or anything of that realm, and the fact that it was it consensual being put in their pairs is absolutely correct. That being in there now gives him leverage when people try to bring it up. Like, hey, we have all had issues with women, bro, but she can't say I did anything in the sexual realm that was outside of the scope of this. Because tumultuous is very
Rod.
uh but not even just broad, but like that language is very divisive, right? Because everybody has problems in relationships, right? So, and my thing with Tony Busby is this man keep getting away with this crap, bro. Like, and y'all right, he did need a win, but he keep getting away with this because your boy up in Cleveland should not have had to pay by the letter of the law. He should not have had to pay, and they keep getting away with this. But like Paris said, this is a win for him because we know how much of how much he blossoms in media. Let's keep the facts. ESPN needs him back. Like they need him back. They need his versatility back.
FS1 need his ass back.
They need him back, right? And that's what they were saying. I'm guaranteeing they were having ex parte conversations. They were like, "Hey, brother, you need to get this word up off you. We cannot employ you, or you cannot be seen with us as long as this part of it. That sexual allegation, that's the biggest part. You having issues with your woman, bro. Hey, get in line. But that sexual part, that would have made it to where we could never employ. You know, it's owned by Disney. It's like we could never employ somebody who has a hangover over their head. So that consensual being in there is
The
big.
the
And
the
my
sentiments.
is disrespectful to other victims. That'd be my thing. As somebody who worked in DSS, like, Shawty, we was looking for a money grab, Shawty, and that's what be happening. I hate that. It's like no one. I remember when Janet Jackson said that to the parents who eventually got found out they were lying about Michael, right? She was like, "Who's taking money up off of somebody if somebody did that to their kids? Would you take money if somebody did that to your kids, or would you want justice, or would you want them under the ground?" So if somebody really did that, you'd want to see justice. And it's like, Shawty, you settled at the first stanza, you settled immediately. It's like this was a money grab, clean and clear. So in my eyes, he did win. Even though he took a little stripe, he did win. In terms of being able to kind of get his life back on track. Cause if that word wasn't in there, if consensual wasn't in there, I don't know if we see Shannon Sharp again. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
don't
I
know if we see.
mean,
that's the only thing
w-
I was gonna say. That one word does matter. Like the way that she went about that and how she pushed it out there. It wasn't just her; it was Tony Busby, right? Like this ain't the first time Tony Busby done settled. A settlement for him is a win. That doesn't
mhm.
make him more credible though, because even with that shit that just happened with Diddy, all of that's gonna fall back on the back of Tony Busby. Like you basically had your whole entire deposition thrown out against Diddy. All of that shit dropped. Then he beat the feds, and then this shit was set. Shannon, you didn't get it to go to court. You got a settlement, and you got a settlement with your damn client saying he didn't rape me at all. So that's not really a good win for Tony.
Well, I think we're gonna
Now,
have to see how the shit happens with, like his future dealings with media and getting back in, because I do think, the nasty part of this was, he acknowledged that there is a video of certain shit, right? Like we heard the audio and he did sound crazy on there, whether, like he wanted, say, hey, release the rest of it type shit where, and I just like, to Fresh's point, my issue is, like one, this does take away from real victims. And two, niggas need to stop putting themselves in these situations, man. Like that's what I just don't understand, right? Like, alright, like you doing good in life, you got shit going on for you. If you're gonna be engaging with these young little sex workers or doing whatever you want to do, like, cause you into kinky shit or whatever, like there's a way to do it to actually like protect yourself, right? And don't just go in there thinking that, oh, it's vibes and cause she let you do A, B, C, and D, that then that's just how, it's gonna go cause you that nigga, right? Like, and that be the problem. I feel like niggas got too much of I'm that nigga in their system to not realize when they getting set up for a play. It's like, bro, right? Like
I
she,
think that's an ignorant way of thinking. It's too easy.
yeah, cause the problem
I
becomes
don't
then
know. No,
they,
I'm saying I'm disputing what you're saying.
well,
I'm
let me
saying
finish
I
my point and then
genuinely
you can say what you
I
want.
don't think that the ego part of that actually is there.
Because my issue is right, especially talking to niggas and and hearing shit that niggas think. The problem be niggas think, all right, yo, this bitch done let me do A, B, C, or D, right? Because I'm that nigga. That's how it got to happen. And meanwhile, right, like her profession when you met her is sex work. So of course she's going to do what she needs to do to get the most money out of the situation, and that should also tell you in the end, right? The money is her main goal. And he kind of like got that out of sight with the calls he was making, with the texts he was sending, with thinking that, hey, like this bitch is fucking with me for me. And it's like when you get out of your body that way to not realize certain shit, and then, you're here comfortable saying some of these things and making these threats to assume your dominance and power, and not realizing like there's a dynamic that you as a man, you should never play yourself into, right? Like having to force shit to happen, right, should not be something that you're trying to do, especially if for some reason you think you are that nigga. But the problem becomes that ego swell overwhelms niggas in their like sensibility to know that, hey, you know what, like I am that nigga. And if I am that nigga and this chick don't want to fuck with me, then I need to let that go and move on to where I can, find something better or something that matches my speed. But instead, dudes over pursue, they over engage, and they do all this stuff. And it's like when you're the person that has something to lose, you got to act like that.
I
Well,
think
I
that
hear what you're
Paris
saying.
and
The only
Jig is
reason why,
saying
no, I'm saying something completely
no,
different.
no, no.
I
I'm
hear
saying that
y'all.
what
I
what
have
what y'all are saying are feeding off of each other because it is an ego thing
I
because
haven't.
he
No,
is
no,
in
no,
the
no.
space.
It's not, and I'm gonna tell you why. I have no problem with y'all removing accountability. I mean, y'all adding accountability to men. That's not my issue. I have no problem with that. But that's how they talk to y'all. They don't be talking to us like that. We be having our way. I don't believe majority of them conversations was going like that at all. She was a sex worker. She was comfortable with race play. She was comfortable with a lot of fetishization, this, that, and the third. And that didn't just happen like that. That started over time. So yeah, he might want to play ball with the money, this, that, and the third, or this, that, and the third. But we saw like Daphne Joy was deranged as a motherfucker. That bitch was unpredictable. She was gonna do what the fuck she wanted to do. And he went along to go along to make sure shit like this didn't happen. It wasn't Daphne that put him in court. It was fucking Cassie. But for the most part, even Cassie, when she was under him, she was deranged. She was delusional. She did what the fuck she wanted to do. It wasn't until she left him that shit hit and got different. So all that ego, I don't know where they be coming from. That don't be happening when we be in them situations. That shit be when they be talking to y'all. It don't be that at all. It's just too easy to say, well, you did this to me, you did that to me, this, that, and the third, or it did go like that, and the story can actually match because niggas be into some extra shit.
I think the ego is from a space of she wouldn't even talk to me or allow me to do these things if I wasn't him. So whatever she's getting, right? Because there is a give and take, and niggas who trick, they trick. So, Shannon Sharp, he seems like he was doing whatever she, wanted him to do. Right until it got to, give me this to shut up. But on our situation, as far as ego, it's easy, yes, because we are that nigga. That's why I said that you and Jig are fighting off the same thing because a lot of women wouldn't be necessarily be around Shannon Sharp if he wasn't Uncle Shay Shay having this shit, especially a young 19-year-old who is fit. I'm pretty sure there's people who desire her. She not fucking with this old ass black nigga just cause
Right.
she wanted
And it's
because
a
of the
and to be
status.
honest,
Huh?
it's a quick, like, it's a pimp play, right? Like, you've heard of it before. If you ever talk to a pimp in real life and you know niggas that's been in the game, they tell you, all right, they send the bitch at you the first time, she do it for free, right? She might go for it and you think, damn, I'm that nigga. That's fire. Like, she was willing to do A, B, C, or D. But the next time you come back, right? And you hit her up, she want to reply right back to you. And then you're going to say, all right, word, let's do what we did last time. And they're going to change the situation on you. And now niggas is looking at themselves like, wait a minute. But we already done this. And they're saying, yep, that was then. But this is now. So what you gonna do now to make this situation happen? Since you want to run it back. And that's where Shannon got caught in the play. because it's an easy thing. They set you up to play on the ego of thinking you that nigga, because the first time you got away with it and it went down, you felt like you was that nigga when you got everything you wanted the first play, right? Of course she went along with the race play. Of course she went along with all that shit. Cause all she had to do was bide her time to figure out, all right, what's this nigga's kinks? What's this nigga's, find the chink in the armor type shit. And once she found it, she knew exactly how to exploit it the next situation. So she played her cards the right time. Even after, when you remember about the case, she said one incident happened and then he came over again to Nevada after she told him where she was at. That's part of the setup. You a dumb nigga to not even think about some shit like that. Right? Like, the problem was because he was so into thinking, oh, she was letting me do some of this shit. Of course, this is how it's always going to be with her. Not even realizing, all right, if the first time she's on the phone telling you, hey, I'm scared, bro. I don't like what you're saying. I feel she's saying key trigger words and you're here just brushing them off because you keep thinking with your dick and not your real head, my nigga. That's how you end these situations. Cause now you going, and I mean, she got home field advantage. You coming up to her spot where she probably has shit ready to record you, has all this shit set up, and you wilding out your body, not realizing you falling for a trap.
Yeah, that nigga fell for the traps. Listen, as soon as the trigger words come out, we gotta end communication. I ain't gonna lie. I can't fuck with it. Go ahead, Real.
Damn, I forgot what I was going to say. I was on a tangent. You heard?
No, that's
GY.
just
But
Jiggy.
not,
Jiggy be taking off.
Big GY.
nah,
Hijacking the
GY?
plane.
nah,
Generational. No,
that's
y'all
all
was y'all
good.
making some good points though.
I ain't doing nothing but just piggybacking off what y'all saying. I said this 100 times up here, and I'm going to sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but rich men do what they want. Hopefully, they're solid. They're just doing the weird stuff that they do. Now, Shannon, in this case, he already knew he was out of pocket. In the case, it was like she was at the gym. He was staring at her. Why is you staring at this little girl, bro? She said you did this multiple times. She turned you down. Then you chased her. Now, this is what we got back to yesterday. Now he's chasing her. She already said, I don't know you. He said, I'm Shannon Sharp. Go look me up. Then she came back and was like, oh, I didn't know you was like this. Now she interested because of the money. Yo, it's just trick. He was just tricking. He really know better. Men gotta have more, we gotta have more morals and more standards. We're so sexual deviants. Is like, he know better than that. He was out of pocket. Then one of the cases was like she walk in the crib, he grab her by the back of the neck and put her head down and give him head. It's like, all right, cool. If you with that, then you with that. But she was like, he did this so many times, and I'm like, if you wasn't with that, you should have said something. But Shannon, no, he bugging for that. Like, come on, bro. Don't nobody just start by just grabbing the girl by the. I'm married. I can't grab my wife by the back of her. Not every time. You can just grab her by the back of the neck, and that's how I
Not
start.
every
You
time
know what I'm
is wild.
saying? Not every time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might catch her.
Hey,
Like,
You
bro,
you know what I
need,
mean?
listen,
bro,
you
that's
need a
not every
blessing
time. It's
sometimes.
And
crazy.
he walked that
Hey,
back. I know
right.
that's
Hey,
right,
you
The
got a
Real.
blessing.
recorded
Come
line.
on,
I know
bro.
that's
Like,
right.
like you don't say
Not every
hi.
time.
We don't greet each
Especially,
other. You feel me? You just walk in the door, grab the back of the neck. My wife's not going for that. So that's a dub. But these niggas be out of touch with reality again because all you doing is these are just transactional. And then he thinking he that guy, he that bull. You're not that bull. You's an old head. She don't even, and then my problem be they don't even be bad all the time. They be like regular John. Like you spend all this money on a regular John? That's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
You
I
out of
think that
pocket.
that's what it's an ego. When you hear like the details, some of the things that you brought up, it was like, yeah, Shannon was walking around this motherfucker like he was goddamn King Kong, just can do anything to a bitch. I'm just like, come on, fam. And then even like, she's not as dumb as she seems, right? Especially with the recording, the setup, come to my space, my house or whatever, my apartment. Like it does seem like there was a level of calculation that she was
Oh,
on.
for sure.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
yeah, and it's like that's the nasty part. But to Jig's point, Shannon, you 56, you ain't picking up what she
No, no,
putting
no.
down. Like
And
you ain't
that's
picking
what
up
I'm
the
saying.
play.
Yeah, he was tripping for
I don't
that.
want y'all to get off of his accountability because he's too old for this, right? Like, I'm not taking away the accountability from him at all. I just think that y'all give men way too much credibility in today's day and age when everything is sensitive. Literally, you can't even say certain words anymore because they're just sensitive, right? So I just discovered yesterday, day before yesterday, you can't say homeless people anymore. It's not even a politically correct term. You're supposed to say unhoused. So imagine when people are running
I
around
ain't
saying
doing
things
that.
like, he love bombed me, but you have women who are saying, this is how I'm supposed to be courted. You're supposed to buy me nice gifts. You're supposed to treat me this, and the third. Or imagine when people are like, when women are saying, oh, well, I can stop doing whatever I want to do at any time. The idea, which we know is true, right? Consent can stop at any time. Where things are with one way and we're comfortable and we know what implied consent is can also turn into, you weren't supposed to do that to me. It's very fucking easy, bro. If you walk in the house and you smack your girlfriend ass, the idea is this implied consent. But if she turn around and say, you touched me without consent, you assaulted me, you cannot say anything. So I don't think y'all realize how easy it is for us. We're just not grimy ass women who will do anything for a check. But those women are. Daphne Joy had a fucking notebook of everything that she wanted to do with Diddy over a fucking 5-month period of time. And still was getting that nigga to pay her goddamn bills. So it ain't just, oh, niggas out here green and niggas got ego. They think they nigga. No, some women be having motive and y'all overlook that shit a lot, thinking that these niggas be big dicking, and we be telling y'all we do what we want. If we wasn't doing what we want, y'all wouldn't have as many complaints about us.
Listen, man, if you any nigga doing well in life, there is no such thing as implied consent. Let me just be clear about that. Those days are gone, nigga. Whoever you, alright, ain't no such thing no more. And that's to any young nigga in the chat, anybody out here, you doing good in life and you doing your thing with the hoes. There ain't no such thing no more. Them things are gone. Those days are long gone, brother. Alright, just cause you did some shit one time with the hoe. I be seeing niggas on the timeline talking about if I have it once, I can have it again and all that. That shit, brother. Don't do that to yourself. You better come and check in with these women every time with how you getting down and how you feeling and what's going on and if she with it and if she not. Cause y'all be out here a little too comfortable with the hoes nowadays, not realizing what you got to lose. Essentially your freedom at that, right? Like, ain't no implied anything. You better make sure you're clear about a lot of shit cause it
That is
ain't,
a good that is a good lesson, right? To especially teach, especially to the young niggas that's coming up. But it's like, where is it stemming from? It's stemming from,
Can I?
at any point, you know, you could be in trouble for things that aren't necessarily, based on y'all history or based on the level of relationship that y'all had. It can just be flipped on its head just cause.
Yeah.
Right. And
May
so it's
I?
just like,
Mhm.
that's the dangerous part that I think we're skipping over. And a lot of times we don't address, and where, if I ain't feeling it, if I don't feel you today, or I don't like you, or you piss me off, I can just flip this shit on his head. Just like we talked
Mhm.
about with the, Andy Byron and the married couple. And where it's like, if she really wanted to kind of get out of this, she could just say that there's a power dynamic, power structure, and he forced it, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, God damn. That's
Yeah.
No, that's the
May I
part that I'm
add?
highlighting. I'm highlighting
Mhm.
that for a reason because I'm completely in the boat with Jiggy on this, right? Shannon's way too old. There's other things men with money should have like they teach the shit when they go to fucking training camps and shit for basketball and NFL. It's not new. They've been having a whole conversation about it with Travis Hunter. But my point is, I think y'all think a lot of times that these men are actually mitigating that situation, and in their mind, they so damn stupid. All they think is, I got money, she gonna play ball. It's really that simple for them. They don't think about the extracurriculars.
Go ahead,
All
Jonay.
right. So, and this is my opinion, and this is just what I believe, right? Um, First things first. It's very, to me, the concept is very much when you leave the gate open, you allow all things to happen. Meaning, a lot of these scenarios that we see, not all, so that way no one argues when I'm trying to say all. A lot of these scenarios are because of these loose relational dynamics, right? Shannon was dealing with an OnlyFans slash prostitute slash this, and you thought that someone like that was going to have these upstanding moral standards and she wouldn't try to hit you over the head. You got Diddy doing freak offs with somebody that ain't your girl, but you've been with her for X amount of time, and you think that these non-labeled, open type relational experiences have all of these unspoken rules. No. When it's loose, right? So I think a lot of times what happens with people in positions like this that have money, they think their money creates respect, and it don't. These girls don't respect them because they're money. They see them for what it is. So they think, okay, you should respect the fact that I got you in this, like with Shannon. I guarantee you Shannon is living by this old school mentality of, well, I'm paying you. I'm doing this. I'm doing that for you. Even though we getting freaked out, I've bought in his mind your respect and your loyalty, and it's not the thing because you've opened up the scenario to do these freaked off ass things with this OnlyFans girl, and you don't even know much about that type of area. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of opportunities that you're opening yourself up to be subjected to when you're keeping these loose parameters in your relationship. That's just how I see it, because it's about age too, but it's not just Shannon, you too old to be doing this. It's Shannon, you are putting yourself in a careless position. You get what I'm saying? Because you can be old, single, casually dating and still protecting yourself. But no, you were older, single, in these loose parameter ass relationships with these random ass people. You get what I'm saying? And now you're just, and then you have others. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. What the hell you think gonna happen when you're in this type of situation? Not mean you deserve it. It doesn't mean that everything that you're accused of means you did it, but it's like, what do you expect? And it really is the mentality of when you open the door for those types of things, because by saying, oh, I don't want no labels. I don't want this. I want to be this casual person. Then you're leaving the door for just about anything to happen to you,
I
which
think
is why, in my opinion, it don't work for everybody. But a lot of people, as much as they talk about the negative side of marriage and relationship and things like that, there are a lot of things that you do end up getting protected for where you can't just say anything if you're in a legally domestic situation with one another. There's certain things that require more proof. But when you got somebody that you ain't got none of that with, it's your word versus theirs, and none of y'all have any protections. So I just think some of that stuff is just the truth based off of the country we live in. And it just is what it is to me.
I think this goes back to what Hotep said yesterday, and where marriage by a certain age, and speaking into Jonay's point, and where with that marriage or that committed relationship, you're not exposed to shit. Well, hopefully you're not like Andy
You
out here.
reduce. You still
Yeah,
Yeah.
exposed to something, but you reduce
yeah, it's a
drastically.
situation.
But this is
Yeah,
the
where
thing, yeah,
you
right? Like, remember, like, it was like earlier at the top of that year, like, Monique had talked to him and was like, Shannon, what are you doing, right? Like, what
She
type of
did.
life are you living? And it was the same case where, like, people said some of the comments. I remember I was one of the people, he was on the other podcast that he does at night, and he was talking about, oh, you don't know how good I got it, because I'm messing with these young hoes. I got them doing this, I got them doing that. And I'm like, see, like, that's all stuff that would have been self-incriminating to this case, because it's like, you're here saying, in broad conversation, that you are engaging in some of these, like you're saying, shady open situations that leave a lot of room for interpretation. And it's like, that's where you're leaving yourself open to all of this shit happening to you. That's why I'm saying there is nothing implied anymore. There is no such thing as, thinking you're too much of that nigga that you don't need to ever protect yourself from any situation. The mentality needs to be, I am that nigga, and that's even more reason why I need to protect myself, right? Because that's what I try to
Yeah,
say.
and that's
Exactly.
why it get to a space in where Paris was saying that is ego, because he not only, is he moving like this, but there has been plenty of situations and where he's talking from no other place but ego,
Right.
right? And when he's saying, date, I think they was talking about why you were dating young women, and he was like, how about you date within your price range or your tax bracket or something?
Hmm.
And we was like, how about that? I'm gonna start talking about it, and it's like, this can't be nothing else but ego.
Yep.
Like, fam, niggas are just saying you are exposing yourself in a way that in your position, you don't have to. This risk that you're taking, you don't have to take. And he didn't see it. He's seen it from a place of somebody's trying to tell him what to do, how to date,
Hmm.
who to date, or get somebody your own age. And it seems like he took offense. So now he puffing his chest up. Well, I got money. I can do this. I can do that. And then your ass getting, taken down to the courthouse because she up in this motherfucker line.
And that's
But
why
it's
I
Well,
be.
not.
Monique told him, and he laughed it off. When Monique told him, "Get your
Hmm.
ass a black woman," he laughed it off. Ha ha, girl, you crazy. Yeah, all right.
But that be the
And my thing is,
problem. Niggas don't realize, like,
But wait, let
sorry.
Fresh go real quick, Jig.
no, it's all good. I'm saying I'm always under the understanding like if it's happened to a few, it can happen to you, right? Because people operate on it couldn't this exceptionalism. Like I don't understand why so many people have this exceptionalism. Like like men, women, anybody have this exceptionalism where like, oh, she ain't gonna do me like that. He ain't gonna do me like that. Like you still need to have certain like what Janae said is spot on, right? Like you cannot totally eliminate, but you can mitigate. Right? You cannot totally eliminate anything, but you can mitigate. It's like insurance, right? Like we have insurance because it's not going to eliminate the possibility, but it's going to mitigate the fallout when things do happen. These people, these men don't even be having, and like, I'm going to hold the men because yes, we have to take certain things on. If we're going to say we're the leaders and things of that nature. That man has spoken brashly. So it was all ego and stupidity because he's spoken brashly about how he curates his life. That's a little callback to yesterday, y'all. But like he curates his life. And multiple people have called him out. And it wasn't just, multiple people are talking to him, even even in a chill way. They've been like, "What you doing, Unc?" You know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. And what it seems like, 'cause I don't know how long he's been divorced. Like he getting back all them years where he was in a marriage. He was like, he feel like he got to do this stuff, and he doesn't know how to handle it. You know what I mean? And it's like you looking foolish, bro. Like you're a grandfather, and you out here moving like this. And this is foolish. It's like you're not even thinking, you're not even considering the consequences with all that's going on in the social, political landscape and all of these things, and you're moving like this. And then people try to warn you. Then people try to check on you. So you can't act like you got ambushed or things of that nature. It's like, bro, I'm sorry. If you're over 18, you're an adult, but if you're a grandfather, you ain't got nothing to do with a 19-year-old, bro. I'm sorry. Even in his realm, there is 28-year-old sex workers. I'm sorry, bro. Like
Yep,
there's
that's what
30,
I
like
said.
19, 19, bro. Like, what do you think is going to happen? You were a mark. And see, his ego won't let him think he was a mark. You were a mark, bro. You got.
And that's the problem
And
is, like you said, people tell people these warnings and you say it to them and niggas think you hating, right? Cause I remember even like in college, certain conversations I have with people or situations where you try to warn niggas about certain shit or you give them the play ahead, right? And it's just like, they think you doing it cause you hating. Like, oh, you don't want to see me shine. You don't want to see me with the young hoes. You don't want to see me this, that, and the third. And then when niggas get caught up, all of a sudden it's damn, man. Like and it's like all the regret and all of that shit could be avoided if niggas just be smart. Like you gotta have some type of foresight to the actions when are moving in life. And I think in Shannon's case, the sad part was, you know, like, that's why I be saying even to young niggas, I'm like, man, I hope y'all find love and find women and have the allure that you want before you get the success. Because a lot of times when niggas get that later in life, they try to make up for so much that they end up falling
Yeah.
for the most basic pitfalls that niggas learned as like teenagers, right? And that's where, like it was with Shannon, was, whatever his little marriage situation was beforehand, and then like from his upbringing of poverty and all of that shit to now, post football, becoming as wealthy as he became, he never had this much influence and access and money overall than he got after football, right? So now he's playing in this realm where, guess what? You are seeing a lot more of these sex workers that's going for more shit. You are in these rooms, you are in these parties, in these situations where, a lot of shit could happen just as long as you will it to, right? And niggas don't realize the will that it takes to then not be in those situations is that just because it can happen, you have to choose, okay, what am I putting at risk to make it happen? And he wasn't thinking about that. He was just thinking, I'm rich now. And the niggas around him are telling him, we've been rich longer than you, right? So you need to understand, don't do this, don't do that. I know it seemed fly. I know it's what some of the young niggas are doing. I know it's what you be seeing on the rappers and all of that shit, but don't go for that. And instead of him listening to them, he looked at it as if people was hating on what he had going
Yeah,
on.
I hate
Yeah.
that where it's like the notion that like anytime, like when folks don't want to hear it, then they get uncomfortable or they internalize it as like there's a level of negativity, and where a lot of times it's just foresight. Folks didn't been here on this earth. before you, right? And so they didn't see this. And so even when we was talking about early on the relationships at the job and the the older black folks, tell you about, drawing a line from personal to professional, it's because a lot of times they didn't seen a lot of this shit. So when folks is coming up and giving you advice, and it happens to me, and where a lot of times it's like, man, leave me the fuck alone. Like, you don't know me. But
But
advice is advice.
that Shannon Sharp situation is a perfect example too of why we gotta stop feeling like just because a motherfucker critical of you mean they hating on you.
Yep.
Cause that ain't the same thing. And because you have niggas who have access to money and they have access to different, accessories and luxuries of life, when you are saying the shit in disapproval, it always comes off, oh, you just hating. If you had the money, you would do it. No, nigga, you're stupid. You're dumb. Like, you're not making wise decisions. You're a fool. And so a lot of times we try to use the hating as the guise of a way of justifying what a person doing when somebody's speaking up and being critical. But here's the perfect example of that. Monique just hating because she's sitting over there with her husband. He about don't want her this, that, and the third, and she can't do that, and her husband spending her money. And it's like, nah. Sometimes people just like, hey, I'm looking out for you. You need to get yourself together, because why are you out here like that? You make yourself accessible. And I think that was her whole message. Like,
Yep.
you too accessible. You too out there. Like, you really an easy target, and you don't see it until it happens.
We get into a space in where we like uh try to bash the messenger instead of listening to the message. And so we see it a lot of times, like Paris said with Monique, and where no matter where it's coming from, I think, Shannon being as, old as he is, I hate saying that, but you 56 years old, being able to understand that somebody is coming from a good place. Hell, you got her on your show. So if you didn't have a level of rapport or trust with her saying these type of things, because it seemed like during that interview that y'all had a different level of relationship outside of just sitting down and interviewing with her, right? And so even with that alone, being receptive to the message in which she was giving you, he clearly wasn't, because he doubled and tripled down after sitting down with Monique on, like, he's going to continue to live the lifestyle that he was living. And so it's just like, when it happens, obviously I don't want any black man to go through, with false allegations, but it's like, hey man, listen, they tried to tell you, bro.
Right. Cause
And
it's
so I'm
sad.
glad that
Like,
he's coming out on the good side of this shit. Whether he wrote the check or not, that's inconsequential to me. This nigga is not somebody who has the sexual assault on his jacket for, perpetuity, right? So for me, that's a win. And I think that shit to look up. He just gotta make better choices. I think he kept his head down since this has happened, and continued to work, which is something that, take a lot to do. A lot of folks would fold in that situation. So I think it's gonna be better, but he had to go through this shit.
and well, that's the thing, is you don't have to go through this, which is why, people need to be better at just trust the people around you when they warn you about certain pitfalls, right? Like you're saying, like if you have rapport with people, right? Like Monique is a very kind-hearted, like, individual, right? And she always looks out for people and say things to them. And even when people are dismissive of her, shit like that, it's always down the line. Then you see something happen and niggas is like, oh shit, she was right, right? Like we've seen it happen with the Netflix stuff, with a bunch of other shit, right? Where it's like, there's just certain people that if you know that they are looking out for you, because my thing is, if you're the type of man, no matter where you get in life, you should never be above reproach. You should never be above advice. You should never be above criticism. What you should do is have the right people around you that when they give you that shit, that it's coming from a good place, right? Because that's what I base all my friendships and shit around, where I'm saying, hey, I want people around me that if I am moving too crazy, if I'm spiraling and I'm out of my body in some way, that when they tell me, yo, you need to ease up, that I'm actually going to listen to them. Whereas if a stranger say that to me, of course I'm not going to care. Doesn't mean the stranger's not right, right? But I know more likely than not, if I'm in that type of mode and a random person come tell me, nah, Jade, yo, you wilding right now, dog, you doing too much, I'm gonna be like, nigga, who the fuck is you, right? But when I know I got my peoples with me and they're sincere and they're genuine, then even if I don't see it, if one of my homies come and tell me, yo, bro, you need to slow up, you moving crazy out here, I may not see it, but I'm at least pause for a moment to be like, hold up, what you say? They're like, yeah, dog, you wildin', and now I gotta actually, maybe I'll ask for perspective, or maybe I'll just have it myself and finally realize, okay, you know what? Yeah, I am out of my lane and I need to get back right. But the problem be like, Yeah, and you see it, and it's sad because we're saying this and I'm saying, hey, to any young person, but this happened to an older person, right? So it tells you age isn't the determining factor of when you can fall for some of this shit, right? It's just, I would hope that, especially while you're young, learn how to have that discipline to understand, hey, there are certain pitfalls out there when you are building success, when you are doing certain things. And just because you can have your way doesn't mean that that's the right way to go.
Yeah. Listen, this was another episode of Things of That Nature, episode 131, Singleness Hood. I appreciate y'all. And honestly, I really appreciate y'all, all week. A lot of great episodes. Y'all stuck it out, man. Indulged in the content so that, doesn't go overlooked, fits in the air for y'all. Repost the space, repost the space, repost the space. Follow the host, follow the co-host, follow the folks on stage that says some good shit to you, man. The Patreon is in the jumbo. It's a free tier. It's a $5 tier. Whatever tier you decide to subscribe, I definitely would appreciate that. Today is Friday, so y'all know I won't be back until Sunday. But we are here every day, Sunday through Friday, 12 p.m. until the next episode. We out.
Gay.